And I'll be honest, I was one of those, I did try Raid Shadow Legends for like 5 minutes. Unfortunately, there's just one unit summoning game that just like kind of did the formula really well. But I also fucking hate that game, so I put way too much time and effort into that game too. It's Summoner's War, by the way. That game drives me insane. But every other, I don't know if it came first, but it came really early to, like, the, like, unit summoning, doing shit, the play style genre. And everything else just feels like a cheap, shitty, bloated in an imitation of it. Like, because they all just, like, play pretty much the same, but they might have, like, extra accoutrements to it. Like, oh, you have, like, 20 more debuffs and buffs, and the units have, like, a mana bar or other garbage. It did it well, but the game is ass. Thanks for listening to my TED Talk. As we take our first steps into Museo, we all pause and examine the surroundings. It's a crowded mess, with people running in every conceivable direction. Inconceivable! People are swimming through the air, going up. I can conceive up. How are people going up or down? I mean, I guess if there's stairs. Yeah, I mean like straight up. Also, this building is looking at me. Oh! Wait, isn't that actually like a thing? Where it's like difficult for some people to like see faces and things? Like, cause like people don't have like that level of like pattern recognition or something. Like, for some reason I feel like I heard somewhere that it's like rare for like people to see like faces in cars. Although maybe that's the actual driver's face, not like the headlights and trim making like a smiley face or something. Anyhoot, market stalls are set up wherever there's room, with all sorts of wares.
Wait, I think I see them.
Ortem immediately tries running ahead and is enthralled by something he sees. They're apples. But before he can get very far, Ulrich grabs him from behind and stops him. With a light grip on Fortem's collar, it's clear he's not going anywhere. Oh, tight grip.
Hey, what gives?
I want apples.
You can't just run off into a crowd like that, Fortem. You'll get lost, and I don't have the time to find you. Stay close to us. We'll get over there eventually.
Okay.
Alright.
Good one. Well, I guess let's hop to just tell him what to do, so. His ears droop down, and he starts to mope around. But before he gets too sad, Ulrich reaches into his pocket. Pulling out some coin, he gives it to Fortem with a smile.
Here's some money to spend on whatever you want, but like I said, just make sure you stick close to us. This isn't the kind of place you want to be alone in.
Oh, whoa. Now you're the one being lewd.
Wow, thanks, Ulrich. I'm gonna look for some apples then. Can you point them out for me so I don't get lost?
Yeah, they should be over there.
Apples. Finding a nearby market stall, Fortem runs off jubilant. Free money from Ulrich, he must have taken a liking to Fortem. Either that, or he figured somebody needed to keep him in line.
Well, I guess we should keep an eye out for Dominic. Knowing him, he's already here waiting for us.
Difference is, I'm
Do you see him anywhere,
always
bro?
lewd. I don't know if I don't know if always would be accurate, but you know you better than I know you, so I guess I'll take your word for it.
There's too many people. Give me a few minutes. I'll find him.
I have a feeling he's going to find us. A few moments later, Fortune returns. He's holding an apple, his eyes glistening with happiness.
Look, I finally got what I wanted. It was so expensive, though. I only had enough for one. Guess I'll have to make it last as long as possible, huh?
Only one? You were conned, Fortune. I should have followed you after all.
Oh no, the bunny was scammed.
Conned?
Yeah, taken advantage of. The locals know a tourist when they see one. They raise the prices because you don't know any better.
Mean.
Sorry, it's my fault. For a moment, I put too much faith in the people. At least now you know all of my warnings were true.
Ulrich lets out a large sigh and continues scouting the surroundings. He takes a few steps in different directions, as if that helped his search. But Valessa calls out to us shortly after, pointing back towards the gate.
Is that him?
Ah. A man that was standing there starts to laugh and approach us. He was standing with his back against the gate, out of sight. It was the perfect hiding spot, since we'd be looking ahead.
I just wanted to see if you'd noticed me, actually. You've got a good eye on you. Valessa, right?
Yeah, Valinor Scribe. Pleased to meet you, Dominic.
Ooh, that would have been Valinor's elder in another timeline.
And I'm Fortame, the Elder. We've heard a lot about you, actually.
All nonsense, I'm sure.
Like, look at that face. Look at how cute this blue boyo is. Oh, nonsense. After smiling at Valessa and Fortem, he approaches me.
And you must be the seer. It feels like I've been waiting forever to meet you. Honestly, the last little while has been so hectic.
Yeah, I know, I watched it all. He blushes, and I can tell he's extremely nervous. It's odd, because he greeted Valessa and Fortem with ease. It humbles me to see a man of such importance treat me this way.
I almost can't believe this is happening. It's an honor to meet you, seer. It truly is.
I am picturing But you're the one who forced me into all of this. I think I know which option I'm going with, but, you know, choices. I'm sure General to be so handsome.
What? Oh, cut it out. There's no need to say things like that. Trust me, you're already on my good side.
I reached out to shake his hand, but he immediately pulls back. With a nervous laugh, he rubs the back of his head. Did I do something wrong? He seemed excited to meet me, so I'd assume a handshake was in order.
Anyway, shall we get going? We have quite a busy day ahead of us.
You afraid to touch me? What? That was odd. I thought he was going to, like, jerk back and then shake, but no, he's just like, not touching you. I don't want... Does he not, like, want my seer powers to rub off on him or something? He starts walking, expecting us to follow. But as soon as he gets to Pro, he stops in his tracks.
Oh, just one more thing before we move along. You'll be on cleaning duty for the next month, Pro.
What? What did I do?
It's more about what you didn't do, and the answer to that is everything. I ended up sending Ulrich to pick up your slack. We can't afford to waste time anymore. I'm sure you had your reasons, but...
Yeah, and they were really good reasons. I couldn't just march into Valinor with a blade. I need to have some discretion. It took time.
Really, Pro, you know you can't just throw excuses at me. I know how this stuff works. You were lazy.
He lets out a loud sigh, while Pro shuffles in place, ashamed.
Ugh, I suppose it's my fault in the first place. I should have known better than to send you there. With a tavern in the way, your priorities would be clear.
After that spat, Dominic, now combining names, Dominic turns to face me with a smile. Even when he was scolding, he was polite. That's interesting. I can start to see why people would like to follow him.
Anyway, we have some business with the mayor. Let's head to his house. I'll explain there. After that, I'll give you a tour of our HQ.
Plans with Grizz. Is it about the pirates?
I said I'd explain when we get there, Ulrich. We can't talk about this kind of stuff out in the open. Finish up whatever business you have, and we'll get going.
We get all the side stories. With that said, I guess it was time to head to the mayor's house. I knew nothing about Mazeo, so I didn't know if this was a detour or not. But either way, my training with the Blade of Exodus would surely begin today. I look at Valessa and Fortem, and we nod at one another. I guess I'd finish up any business here, then follow Demix. My legs are tired, but I feel like our trek was almost over. Demex has now permanently joined your party. A new statistic, morale, has also been unlocked. Yo, morale is at 90%. Bottom acquired. Morale may rise and fall over the course of the game. Your army and their welfare will be affected by your choices. Ensure a high morale, or your forces may not survive the coming war. Yo, I can do a heart-to-heart with Fortem right now. Alright, new guy.
Hey,
Hey. I'm assuming this is gonna be 6 for 6, but we're 5 out of 5 right now for just the hey. What can you tell me about yourself?
well, it all depends on what you'd like to know. I mean, I'm an open book, but I don't know where to start. Feel free to throw a few questions at me. I'll play along.
How old are you?
27. Not too young, not too old. I'm in the perfect place to be leading this army. A lot of the other victims were far younger than me.
Alright, what's
And
your
those
blood
that
type?
weren't were far older. They took on more of
I
a
never understood
caregiver
that.
role. Plenty of orphans needed plenty of parents.
When did you join the rebellion?
I must have been 6 or 7 years old. A lot of the details are like a blur in my head. Maybe my mind did that on purpose, you know. But I was rescued by a small group of townspeople. After the battle died down, they started picking up the scraps. The rebellion wasn't formed just yet. That was just starting.
I think he's an orphan, so I think that was forfeit during the war.
Salus, the previous elder of Valinor, came to visit. The treaty and the rebellion were formed shortly after. I had no place to go. And no family. I was forced to fight. But that's not really a bad thing, you know. I'm pretty strong now. Trained for almost any scenario. I just wish I didn't have to miss out on a regular childhood.
You and probably your entire army. Are you seeing anybody?
Oh, of course not. I don't have time for that. I mean, maybe when this war is over or something, but right now, I'm far too busy with everything else.
I kind of like you just point blank ask like them that. Are you dating anyone? Which I don't think you could ask Valessa and Fortem that, but maybe it's because you would
And
know.
truth be told, I wouldn't even know where to start. The orphans of the occupation were taught war, not love. Other than fighting this battle, I'm not meant for much else.
What are your hobbies?
I don't really have time for hobbies, to be honest. Unless the war table or sparring counts as hobbies. After this war, maybe I'll pick up a few pastimes. But right now,
Oh
I
yeah.
really don't have the time. I've been training and working since I was a kid. They had no hesitation in letting a child wield a sword.
I meant to tell you when I sent you those Fortem memes that I found those off of the Steam community page. So I think it might be you might be like the universal love of this game. Alright, that's enough about you. Can you tell me about the rebellion?
Well, almost everything, I'd assume. I was one of the founding members with Salus. I guess they like that term more than child soldier.
Tell me about your new HQ.
When the Triumvirate took over
I like that he's just
Marcia,
talking about this.
they had one goal. Dig deep underground and find the true spirit idol of this nation. They made the Honor Guard do this.
Wait.
Those
So-
empty suits of armor.
How did you get... He's everyone's favorite... Or, how did you get that out of him being the group favorite? Or the favorite... Or the community favorite? Or is Massive Bottoms just everybody's favorite? Is that a universal thing that I'm unaware of?
But while they dug, they also created a sort of barracks down there. I'm not sure why, because the Honor Guard couldn't make use of it. But I'm assuming it was for when real people came for inspections. Either way, they basically turned it into a paradise. beds, weapons, training rooms, a war table, everything. When I first saw it, I knew I had to win it for the rebellion.
Is the war table just a table with a map on it?
Thankfully, Grizz had been turning to our side. It wasn't hard to woo over the mayor and get the deed. His only condition was that he got access to the idol first. I'm not sure what he wants to do with it, but he can't really do anything if I'm honest. Not without you or the Blade of Exodus.
Tell me about your previous leader.
Salus? Well, he was a father figure to a lot of us. That's probably why his sacrifice hit us all so hard. You do remember that he was the Elder of Valenorth, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not like he took on a secret double life, he was still the same. If anything, at least now you have an explanation for his trips. He was helping out the rebellion and Valenorth. That's a tall order.
Alright, tell me more about how it was formed.
Salus saw the chaos and destruction in Mazio and wanted to help. In fact, even some people from Valenorth were here during the occupation. He likely discovered what happened by inquiring after their disappearance. Either way, he quickly met with a band of survivors and orphans. Offering them funding and protection, the seeds were planted. They became an organization with a goal. They had a purpose. Salus likely knew that Valenorth would be occupied as well, so training an army to enact revenge would benefit both nations. They established Peregrino as a central location, and here we are. Over the next 20 years, the orphans grew stronger. As soon as we were battle-ready, we launched the Exodus Raid. Salus told me more about you, and I took over when he passed.
What did he tell you about me? How many members are there?
Several hundred, but under 1,000. We're a fully realized army, and I know we can do this. With you and that blade, our victory is pretty much
I
secured.
really hate all of these failure flags that literally every character is setting up and saying, ah, we got this now. We got you, we got the thing, we win. Unless this game is actually going to like pull a fast one and make that true, bad shit's gonna be happening very soon, I imagine. How's the troop morale?
It's wonderful. Everybody is in a great mood. We have the numbers and the strength to put up a fight. But on top of that, we have you and the Blade of Exodus.
He's even calling us a top.
When you're trained with it, you can lead the final battle. That blade isn't just a weapon, but a symbol of hope. It sets us apart from every previous insurrection. With its power, you'll be unstoppable. I hope you're ready to go down in history as a hero, the man who changed Alestia forever.
Damn. What can you tell me about the Genie?
We don't know too much about them, to be honest. They're shrouded in mystery and only rule from their chambers. We've tried to coax them out, but so far nothing has worked.
Oh boy. You know where they came from?
Not a clue. It's anyone's guess.
That's the first time he's been spooked.
Hopefully we'll find some answers after all this is over. There's got to be some record of their past, right?
Your eyes seem symmetrical.
At least that's what I'm hoping for. But I'll have to be content if we never find out. My main goal is liberating Alestia and gaining freedom.
Do you know how old they are?
At least as old as Alestia, or something like that. History seems to have begun when they did. Either that or they covered up the past.
Probably
There's
that.
no record of history prior to their rule, so that's why everybody regards them as gods. But there's more to the story. I can feel it in my gut.
You know, he put gods in quotes, but he still capitalized it. You know what they look like?
No, we just know that they wear white and gold cloaks. This is from reliable first-hand accounts, of course. Some people have met them and lived to tell.
Live to tell the tale.
Underneath those cloaks, however, is anyone's guess.
They're just
Some
furries
people even
like us.
theorize that there's nothing underneath. That's pretty scary if you ask me. They'd be like living spirits.
Foreshadowing.
I think so. As far as we know, they've
That's
had
not
it
a good
forever.
thing.
Ancient writings and murals have depicted the blade. We still don't know for sure, though. They could have found it. What we need to worry about is the power the blade houses. It gave them the power to enslave an entire world of innocent people. We must never resort to the same thing. I want to destroy it when this is over.
Will the Blade of Exodus be enough to kill them?
I'd like to think so, yeah. It's actually a bit ironic, isn't it? Their own weapon, used against them.
I don't remember who said it, but I think they said... But somebody, I think, said something along the lines of... It was a weapon that they found... Or they were just, like, the first, like, people to find the weapon. And therefore became gods. That's what I'd like to at least assume. Because, you know, that there's kind of a problem if they did make it.
As soon as you learn to use it, we'll be good to
So,
go.
I guess that said,
I
like...
have no doubt in my mind that it's strong enough. You were chosen by the spirits for this destiny.
It would make sense if they found it, because why would they care so much about getting it back if they could just make a new one? Though, I guess maybe they don't want that power out in, like, not their hands, so maybe that's why they want it back. But my assumption is they fear it, and that's why they want it back. And therefore, that means they want something stronger than it, which would imply that they found it. Alright, enough about them. Tell me about your comrades, and our comrades.
Sure. What would you like to know?
What do you know about Valessa?
Well, I don't really know
Yeah.
anything about her yet. But I'd like to change that if I get the opportunity. I think she seems like a wonderful person.
What about Fortin?
He seems really, energetic. Honestly, you'll have to ask me again in the future. We just haven't had the chance to hang out just yet.
But you're so busy, how will you? Tell me about Ulrich.
Ulrich is one of my best friends. He really is.
Aw.
There's no man I'd rather have at my back in battle. He saved me from dying more times than I can count. The rebellion basically hinges on my planning and his strength. He'll be at the front of every charge, I can guarantee that much. There's no man in this world quite as strong as him.
Yo, I saw him get destroyed in my vision. Tell me about Pro.
Right now, I'm a little upset with him, but I'll manage. He's my go-to man when something involves being sneaky. His reconnaissance work has been a great boon to our efforts. I suspect that you'll be working with him closely in the future. A lot of our final attack on Balteus will involve a stealthy infiltration, but we'll get to more of that in the future, so no need to waste time on it now.
Tell me about me.
Well, I wouldn't know where to start. You're such an important figure to both me and my army. But to Alestia, you're going to be known as their savior.
I feel like they're kind of lazy on the pause. So it kind of just looks like a blob. But maybe I'm just not seeing
I have
it
to
good
admit,
enough.
you're a bit different than I expected. All this stuff had me thinking you'd be larger than life. But I guess that's my fault. You're just a normal person.
Damn.
The thing that makes you special is on the inside, not the outside. I guess it just benefits us that not everybody can see that, right? We wouldn't want you to be a walking target for the enemy to find.
Exactly. Tell me more about your battle plan.
Sure. Anything specific?
Oh. He's just gonna let me ask that point blank while we're in the middle of the town square.
Well, I'll have you rest
Okay.
for the day. Then we'll start training you with the Blade of Exodus tomorrow. I think that slow exposure therapy will be the best possible approach.
My man's exposure therapy is generally used when people are talking about getting over fears. But in the context of all this, I guess it does make sense. Just kind of odd.
As you build a tolerance for its power, you'll be able to wield it longer. Of course, you'll also be training in the basics of swordplay. Ulrich will make sure that you learn everything you need to. We have the benefit of foresight here. We know the Triumvirate
Nuh-uh.
will be busy with Valinor. You can train, and we
I
can
can
attack
throw.
Balteus right under their noses.
You said foresight, and I immediately thought of, I like your attitude. Xenoblade 2. Though specifically foresighting in Smash Bros. And Mythos is like, nuh-uh.
Yeah, and it's something
Something
you'll
about
be
the
hearing
battle.
more of. We have some stuff to take care of for now. You'll get used to the war table, trust me.
Very detailed strategy for the final battle. What will Alessia be like after the war is over?
Probably in chaos and disarray. We can't expect the people to embrace the new leadership, but we'll do our best to win them over and cater to their desires. Anything we can learn about the Triumvirate will also be useful. If we can prove that they're frauds, the people will accept us easier. The only question is, how in the world do we go about doing that? Either way, we'll have lots of work ahead of us. Winning this battle doesn't mean we can sit back and rest. We'll have an entire world to rule and reform. I can't wait.
D&D rules. We kill the god, so we become god. You have any idea how we can save Valinor?
You mean imbue it with spiritual energy? I'm not sure. But I wouldn't classify your nation as dead. Not just yet. The power inside of you is proof that we can redirect it.
Yeah, I guess so. That's also probably why he's dying.
If the spirits can move power from the land to an individual, well, there's no reason to believe that the reverse isn't possible. That blade is capable of so much. I think it will be the key to all of that.
What are your bets on the first bad thing that's going to happen? Alright, we're done talking to Demix. Now let's do our heart-to-heart with our favorite Bignoi.
Wow, you can buy weapons here? I mean, they're just laying out in the open.
Yeah, you can buy anything in Mazeo. If it's not legal, then the pirates can get it for you. They call this place the Town of Infinite Connections.
Wow.
Goes Ohio.
Hey, that one looks like your sword, Ulrich. Did you buy your sword from one of these places?
No, my sword is ancient. Rumor says it belonged to an Alarinthian legend.
Oh.
With just how well it's made, I think that's actually true.
Wow, a legend? Explains why you carry it around
What
all
was
the
he
time.
going to do with it? Leave it at the tavern?
Yeah, I'd hate to leave it unattended. Even when I carry it, people beg me to sell it. But it beats leaving it alone and risking theft.
So you've used that sword for your entire life?
I have, and I'll use it for the rest of my life too. It shows no signs of wearing down. It's perfect. I can't say the same about the ones they have for sale.
Org motions to the market stall that initially caught Valessa's attention. The merchant glances over at us, understanding Org's accusatory gesture. We quickly run away from the stall before they can speak or chase after us. What?
Hey, this is where I got those apples. Still wish they didn't end up scamming me.
He fell for the free armor trimming.
You can never trust anybody around here. Even I get taken advantage of sometimes.
Really?
Yeah, I can let my guard down too. So don't feel bad about your mistake, Fortin.
If anything, he learned an important lesson. Should we go complain? Maybe he can get his money back.
Wait, is Valessa a Karen?
There's no point. They'd never give it back. We'd only end up bringing more attention to ourselves. I think we'll just have to chalk this one up as a loss.
Alright. I'm sorry.
Gomene.
You didn't do anything wrong. They did. I'll buy you more apples when I get a chance. The money I gave you could have easily bought 10.
10?
You didn't have to tell him that. Oh,
How far back does this town square go?
I did see a surprised face. At least she's a cutie. Oh, Karen converted. Wait. I thought Karens were blonde. Is red hair inherent of a Karen? Also, I thought the color didn't really matter, but it was more of like the, that shortish cut, the hairstyle is what mattered. Where it's kind of like combed over to one side and like ear length. I don't think any of these characters are not cuties, though.
To be honest, it almost doesn't stop. Mazeo is pretty much one huge market. There's a few residential areas, but they're tiny.
That's insane!
Yeah, but you get
Insane.
used to it.
Where do the people live then?
Most of them have small beds behind their market stalls. Those that are lucky enough to own an actual shop live inside of it. If you want to live in Mazeo, you need to sell something of value.
Or offer your services, like me with my sword on.
Yeah, you need to do something to make money. If you live in a residential area, that means you're rich. It's It's a sign of wealth. Like, you don't need to work anymore.
I'm guessing not everybody gets that far.
No, most people live on a day-to-day basis. If they don't sell something that day, they don't eat.
That's crazy. In Valinor, we share everything. We'd never stand by while a citizen starves.
Yeah, you have it pretty good in Valinorth. But this is what I like to call the real world, Valessa. Valinorth was special. The rest of the world is more like this.
Hopefully we can change that. Where do you think we'll be living after the war?
If we survive, anywhere we want.
Your subtitles do not match the voice lines. That's only the first time I've noticed it, though, so good on you, game. Alright, heart-to-heart time. Also, I just realized I was missing something. There we go. Before Tim, heart-to-heart 2. I noticed for Tim standing at one of the market stalls enthralled. I take a few steps forward to see what he's looking at, and nobody follows me. It seems they're willing to give us some time alone now that we're in Museo.
Hey, Seer! Check this out!
He points to a bunch of strange metal objects attached to ropes. If I could describe them as anything, it would be metallic claws. Oh, so they're hanging up. I have no idea what they are, however... or why he's so taken by them.
You know, when I climb trees, it's hard to get a grip. But with these, I can just stab them into the tree and hold on. I didn't know these existed. It would make things so much easier.
But then you would harm the tree. He shuffles in place, thinking to himself.
You don't think that would hurt the trees, do you?
Never be too sure for him. That's also true, though. But it would take the sport out of it. No impulse buying, why? Of course not. They can take more than that.
Awesome! That's what I thought. I'll have to make money somehow, and save up. This'll make climbing the Grand Tree a lot easier.
Especially a big-ass tree like that, you're not gonna do anything to it. He leans a bit closer to the market stall, looking for a price.
And of course, there's no price on them. Probably so they can scam people too. I'll have to get Ulrich to figure this out.
Hey, there you go. He smiles and laughs softly before turning to face me.
You know, these markets are pretty cool. What do you think about them, Seer?
Oh god. This choice will permanently affect your relationship, or something along those lines. Wait, okay, that's actually what I would answer. I'm sorry, Hoodie, I can't go with the dating option. They're pretty awesome, yeah. Wish our parents were here with us. Don't kill the mood. Alright, let's go down this line just to see.
Oh, is that what this is? Well, I did want to have some private time, actually.
Oh.
Hey, I have an idea.
Love
Seer,
amongst
follow me
four.
over here.
He grabs an apple out of his pocket and gives me a sly smirk. It's the one Ulrich bought for him. He must not have eaten it yet. He runs away, I follow him, and we end up in a nearby back alley.
See? Much better. I can actually hear myself think now. Let's grab a seat and relax.
Our first days in a back alley. He motions to the ground. It didn't seem comfortable, but it would do. I sit down and rest my back against the wall. He promptly sits down beside me. Holding out the apple, he inspects it, almost like he's a bit hesitant to eat it.
I wonder if it'll taste like I remember. It's only been around 20 years after all. Hey, let's share it. You should try some too.
He giggles nervously and places his head on my shoulder. Aww.
You said this was a date, right? Imagine how mean it would be if I didn't share. Besides, I'd like to spend this moment with someone special.
After a brief pause, he lets out a sigh of relief. I guess he was worried that the physical contact might not be okay. Holding up the apple, he inspects it one final time, blushing.
Here goes nothing.
Moments after, he takes a large bite. Juices drip down his chin as he shakes with excitement. Whoa? The look on his face tells me it's every bit as good as he remembers.
Wow. You have got to try this, Seer.
Why are you scared? He holds it up, offering it to me. I never got to try these when I was younger. Before Tim always spoke the world of them. Accepting it with a smile, I grip it in my left hand. To make Fortin more comfortable, I wrap my right arm around him. He leans in closer, letting out a noise I can only describe as happy and content. With a large crunch, I bite into the apple. The sweetness immediately assaults me. It's overwhelming, and my eyes shoot wide open. It's shocking and delicious. I always doubted that they'd be as good as he said. I was unequivocally wrong.
See? I told you. It was totally worth the wait.
I nod and hand the apple back to him. We share it with each other, taking turns until it's all gone. After placing the core on the ground, he rests his head on me once more.
But so was this.
He gulps as if he's nervous.
You know, I've never been on a date before. Honestly, this doesn't feel any different from normal. I guess that just means we're comfortable with each other. But do you think the other people will be comfortable with this? I don't think a seer has ever dated an elder before. I hope we're not doing anything wrong.
Of course we're not. They'll definitely be comfortable. I do what makes me happy.
Oh, okay. That's a relief. To be honest, I've always wanted to do this, but I was scared.
Oh.
I guess I'm thinking about things differently now.
Also, you're the elder. You can make the rules.
You know, there's so much going on lately. It's nice to just put it all on pause with someone like you. I feel like I could stay in this alley forever. It's peaceful.
Aww. When he said pause, I thought of pause, not breathing.
But I don't want to rush into anything, you know? So let's take this one step at a time. Slowly. Sharing this apple was good enough for me.
He releases his grip on my arm and stands up.
Back to business, I guess? But mark my words, I'm gonna get that climbing gear. And a second set, too. I'll make an apprentice out of you yet.
Vignoy. He smirks and runs back out into the markets. I follow after him and we regroup with everyone else. That was a nice distraction, but it was time to get things back on track. Okay, I'm sorry, Hoodie. You can live in that universe, though. Right, the game crashes. Shit. Permanently alter your relationship with Fortem. This is pretty awesome, yeah.
Just a bit crowded, though. And I did want to have
some
some private
crowded
time.
then.
Hey, follow me.
Oh.
I have an idea, Seer.
He grabs an apple out of his pocket and slyly smirks. This one will look about him, he hasn't eaten it yet. When it runs out.
See? Much better. I can actually hear myself think now. Let's grab a seat and relax. We deserve it.
He motions to the ground. It didn't seem comfortable, but it would do. Sit down back in the wall, he probably sits beside me, helping out the apple. He was hesitant to eat it.
I wonder if it'll taste like I remember. It's only been around 20 years after all. Hey, let's share it.
There is no...
You should try some too.
There is no bunny cuddles. This seems to be the only difference. He stares directly at the apple, watching it glisten in the sunlight.
You know, I'm kind of scared to eat it. I'm worried it might not live up to my memories.
Yo, I come from a
Things don't
different
usually
timeline.
work out that way. Why should this?
He shrugs and then looks up at me.
Here goes nothing?
He raises it to his mouth and takes a large bite. Shaking with excitement and juices drip down his chin. I can tell it's just as good as he remembers.
Wow. You have got to try this, Seer.
And now he's scared. Man, it's a shame they don't have PNGs for, like, them being excited or something. This is the worst timeline. No, I think the worst timeline is one where he maybe dies. I don't know if characters can die in this game. Maybe they can. But I also think the worst timeline would be just giving him the cold shoulder, right? As he holds it up to me offering, his hand's practically shaking. I grab it from him and inspect it. It's incredibly soft and juicy. They must have grown this differently in order to make it special. But I wonder why the team would ban this from trade. It seems harmless, but I can't remember the last time Fortum was so happy. Any timeline that has no Benoy cuddles is a bad timeline. I see. I take a bite with a loud crunch and start chewing. The sweetness is overwhelming. I always doubted how good the apple would be. Fortum really talked it up. There was always a worry in the back of my mind that it wasn't really that good. However, after finally tasting it, I know I was unequivocally wrong. It was amazing.
See? I told you! I can't believe I'm eating this again. I just wish my parents could be here.
I hand him back the apple and we slowly take turns eating it. Minutes later, the tiny core remains. We really went to town on it. Placing it down by his side, Fortum rests against the wall, sighing.
Thanks for sharing that with me, Seer. Actually, thanks for hanging out with me at all. I know there's so much to do. I'm really honored.
Aww. He smiles before standing back up. I do so as well. There's no point in the quest if I can't have fun along the way. Our bond could flourish, even during war. That was an incredible friendship. Oof.
Back to business, I guess.
That's some friend zoning right
Mark
there.
my words. I'm gonna get that climbing gear. And a second set, too. I'll make an apprentice out of you yet.
That was straight up friend zoning right there. He smirks and runs back out into the markets. Follow after him and everybody else and get back on track. So, do you just get like 2 heart-to-hearts per character? Because, like, I think I had, like, the 2 from him, and then I dated him on the second one, so... Purely conjecture. No, let's not go to the house, let's go to the tavern. As soon as we enter the tavern, the smell of ale assaults our noses. This wasn't anything like Peregrino, this was on an entirely different level. Bottles of foreign alcohol lined the shelves. I'd have no idea where to start looking.
Good call, Seer. No trip to Mazea was complete without coming here. If it's time to relax for a bit, I'll just take a seat at the bar.
He gives me a sly smirk and immediately takes a seat. The bartender, who I could only describe as overwhelmed, takes his order. Oh. God damn it. Okay, maybe there's something wrong with my head. I thought, like, he was overwhelmed because Ulrich sat down and he was just, like, taken aback by him, but no, it's a busy-ass bar. He's handling too many orders. Or takes a few steps forward and afterwards takes a deep breath.
You just can't beat that smell. If you need me, I'll just be checking my mail. I've been in Valinor for a while. I'd hate to miss anything.
Your mail? Trotting off to a corner, he starts to inspect his mailbox. Okay. Why the fuck is there a mailbox in a bar? Okay. Shelves with letters and numbers line the back corner of the tavern. You must pay to have an anonymous address or something like that. Ooh.
Taverns don't really do anything for me, Seer. I don't mean any offense by this, but I'll be waiting outside. That's not to rush your relaxation or anything. No, you deserve it.
He doesn't drink either. With a smile, he slowly backs out of the tavern. I guess this would be a good chance to talk with Pro and Ulrich. We haven't really had enough time to get to know each other yet, even though we've had extensive dialogues with them. Valessa and Fortim take a seat and start talking amongst themselves. I guess it wouldn't be the end of the world if I wasted a little bit of time here. Ulrich is chugging a large cup of ale and Pro is carefully reading over some letters. Whoa! Nice. Heart to hearts. Time to unwind. Oh, there's a book somewhere. I bet it's a menu.
So, you ever drink this stuff before?
No. He motions up to the bar, gesturing broadly at everything. I've never seen bottles of alcohol like that. I'm totally clueless. We're in a completely different region of Alestia. It's all new to me.
You'll have to join me. I can pick out the good stuff. Without me, you'd just be wasting time. Half the stuff on display isn't even that good. To be honest, they keep a lot of the good stuff down there.
He points underneath the bar. I guess that made sense.
Cheers, by the way.
Cheers for that. Cheers, love the cavalry, is it? He holds up his glass before taking a huge swig of ale.
It just doesn't compare to what they had at Peregrino. Anyway, I'll let you take care of your business. I'm right here.
Hey, where's this book? I examine the shelves looking for anything of note. I don't find much except for a piece of some current news. It couldn't hurt to get a better perspective on Alestia's current state. Resting my back against the shelf, I start to read. It seems to be about Alarinthia, Ulrich's homeland. Apparently, things aren't going very well over there.
Alarinthia's civil conflict. Could the next tournament held in Alarinthia's Colosseum be the last? That's the hope of a new uprising run by a mysterious woman known only as Vivian. Wanting to change Alarinthia's form of government into something more modern, she hopes to bring peace and organization to the otherwise savage lands. While the current tribe leader of Alarinthia has always had the ability to change the rules, none have been interested in anything other than retaining their leadership and proving their strength in Alarinthia's deadly arena tournaments. If Vivian's forces were victorious, she would have the ability to completely rewrite the rules that govern Alarinthia. However, because she's approaching the upcoming tournament with brains rather than brawn, it would require a miracle to secure victory. Chances are, Alarinthia will likely remain under the grip of Draku's strength. However, Vivian's ideals are likely to live on. Perhaps one day things will change. A recent Mazayan news article.
Just assuming she's already dead. I wonder who Vivian is. Ulrich would definitely side with someone like her. He thinks that Alarinthia should be more like the mainland. Alright, heart-to-heart time. Although I guess I can look around a little bit more and see if people have something to say.
So, are you having a drink?
No, I'm good. There's too much to focus on.
You gotta do it sometime, you know?
Maybe after all this blows over.
That could take forever. You should take some time to unwind.
Are you getting something?
Yeah, I'm still deciding though. I don't know any of this stuff on the menu. It's like we're in a completely different world.
Didn't Ulrich have to buy you that apple earlier? Where are you getting the money to order this stuff?
Oh, good question. I'm used to the way things are in Valinor. Almost everything is provided to us because of our roles.
Yeah, fair enough. Maybe you should go sweet talk Ulrich. If it's on him, maybe I'll consider trying something.
Sounds good. I think he likes me, so this'll be easy.
I think he
Wait
likes
here.
me.
We'll try the fanciest thing on the menu.
Oh god. Let's see if we can find Pro. No. Maybe not. Okay. Heart to heart with... Let's go with Pro. He's on the right side. Morale 90%. Books read 11. Access Pro. Heart to heart 1. Pro rests his back against the mailbox, shifting through letters. He must be pretty popular, as his hands were full of paper. I can't even imagine if I got that many letters in Valinor.
Oh, hey there.
Howdy, partner. He looks up at me, startled, and turns to face the mailboxes. As if in a rush, he starts putting various letters in various boxes. Oh, is he the mailman? Wait, All of those letters weren't actually his? Uh-oh.
Well, you caught me. Just don't tell anybody else, all right? This is one of the best ways to get information.
That's mail fraud, my man. Bro was all up in the crimes. You can't just go through people's mail. Why don't you let me help you? I don't know what you're talking about. I'll let it slide if you tell me some secrets. I kind of want to be flirty with everybody just to see the route. I'll be flirty.
Oh, an accomplice. I've never actually thought about that. I guess it could make things a little easier. Stand guard for me, all right? Let me know if anybody approaches. If I get caught, I can play it off as a misunderstanding. Oh, don't worry, just a little mix-up. Trust me, it works pretty much every time I'm caught. It's so easy to win people over. Just admit you did something wrong. They'll immediately switch their stance to defend you. Oh, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. People work in such weird ways.
What a weird game. He turns back to the mailbox and raids them once again. I guess he assumed it was okay since I was one of his comrades. A big smile appears on his face as he borrows private information.
It's amazing what some of these people get up to. The most innocent people could be involved in awful things. See, I can beat blackmail, but these people can't. It's a good way to line the rebellion's coffers. So later today, I'm gonna pay this guy a visit.
He taps on one of the pieces of paper in his hand.
It would seem a reputable business owner is up to no good. I think he'd lose some business if people found out he worked with pirates. If I got him to pay me off, I could feed the rebellion for months, Seer.
He looks at me as if waiting for my approval.
Is everything okay? I'm not scaring you away, am I?
You can't feed the
This kind of stuff isn't for everybody.
You can't feed the rebellion with dirty money, pro. You're not scaring me off. Let's do this.
Now you're talking. This'll be my biggest score in months. I'll get it done tonight, and then celebrate in my room back at HQ. Feel free to pay me a visit.
Hello?
I'd be down for some quality time together.
God damn it, why did you have to say quality time? The things that float around in my brain. Harvester is one of those things. As is adult quality time. Damn it, why? I'm pretty sure that is actually what he's talking about, too. I could be wrong. Maybe my head's just in the gutters.
I mean, you still want to be friends, right?
Aww.
I hope all this danger doesn't scare you away. I'm not like this all the time. Trust me, Seer.
Oh. Well, we already went down the flirty route once. Hopefully we can be more than friends.
Wow, that's pretty forward. Does this danger stuff turn you on or something? You know what? Don't answer that. At least not here. Look, I have no idea what you're after. But to be honest, I don't know what I'm after either. If you want to pay me a visit later, we'll see what happens.
Damn.
My room back at HQ is pretty big and luxurious. We can crack open a bottle of wine to celebrate my big score. I'm not gonna promise any more than that, alright?
He lays his letters back in their respective mailboxes, clapping his hands together as if to brush off dust. He looks right at me, squinting his eyes. It's almost like he's trying to judge or gauge me.
I gotta admit, you're a bit
Ah.
different than I expected. That's surprising, since I'm usually a good judge of character.
Better
You'd make an
buddy
interesting
smile while
subject
I'm
to write
away.
about, you know?
If the opportunity presents itself, I will do my best. Have a safe trip. See you later? I shrug, unsure of how to respond to such a thing.
Now I'm getting ahead of myself. I apologize. let's just stick to the plan. Bottle of wine, Rebel HQ. I have a new target, so I should probably get going.
I need to have a target. What did he say? What did I write about? Oh. He smiles at me and rests his hand on my shoulder.
There's not many people I can talk to about this kind of stuff. If I have to be honest, I'd say I'm kind of glad that you caught me. Next time we talk, it'll be your turn to spill some secrets. All right?
With a sly smirk, he slowly walks away from the mailbox. I guess now I know a little bit more about Fro's true nature. But in a time of war, I guess you had to resort to stuff like that. Endemics must only allow it out of necessity. I'm sure Pro would stop this behavior once the war was over. So rather than condemn him, I choose to take him up on his offer. Learning more about him over a drink could prove to be entertaining. And at the end of the day, it wouldn't hurt to make another friend. I turn back to the tavern, ready to move on to the next step. Okay, load. Let's crash the game real quick and just be playful and ask for information. Oh, right, yeah, the game wants to crash. I'll let it slide if you tell me some secrets. Although I kind of want to go with the 3 dots just because I don't know what you're talking about. Let's be playful.
Oh? Are you trying to blackmail me? Honestly, I didn't think you were the type. I'm immediately more interested in you.
Oh boy.
But
Turns out I end up
to be
flirting harder.
honest, that won't work on me. I can play my way out of pretty much any situation. So do your worst, and I promise I'll adapt.
He turns back to the mailbox and raids him once again. I guess he assumed it was okay since I was one of his comrades. A big smile on his face, he borrows private information.
Is everything okay? I'm not scaring you away, am I?
I'll still do that.
Now you're talking. This'll be my biggest score in months.
Not scaring you off, am I? He is so apologetic. You still want to be friends with me, right? Of course we're friends. Friend zone.
Good. I'm glad. You caught me, so I had to come clean. Otherwise, I would have kept this stuff secret. Not many people know what I actually do. But if you pay attention, it's not too much of a stretch. It's just something I picked up from years on the
I was
streets.
gonna say, I feel like this is just par for the course. Like, I'm not surprised by this at all.
Maybe I'll tell you a bit more back at HQ. I'll use this big score to buy a bottle of wine. We can crack it open and get to know each other.
He carefully places the letters back in their respective mailboxes, clap his hands together, brush and look at me, trying to judge or gauge me.
I gotta admit, you're a bit different than I expected.
Right about you. Not sure what to say.
Now I'm getting ahead of myself. I apologize.
Bottle of wine. He smiles with my hand on my shoulder.
There's not many people I can talk to about this kind of stuff.
A slight smirk, he walks away from the mailbox. More about Pro's true nature. No time of war, he had to do stuff like that. Then we can allow it. War's over, he'd do that. Or he'd stop doing that. The virgin could be entertaining. Make another friend. Move on. Okay. Save. Alright, let's talk to Ulrich. See what he has to say. Ulrich, heart to heart. Number 1. I sit down beside Ulrich and look over at him. A couple of empty glasses strewn about signal he's already had a few. However, he doesn't seem to show it. Not at all. He is calm and collected.
Hey, Seer, come to join me? I can recommend a few drinks if you'd like. Do you want something strong or should we start weak?
Start with something strong.
Perfect choice. Barkeep, more of the same.
I think that's probably the only correct answer here. Not that I want to drink. I'm pretty sure it's going to end poorly for me. Barkeep, more of the same. He motions to the bartender, and I have a few moments later give him a glass. Ulrich watches me with a smirk as I take a long swig and swallow it down. It's strong, almost enough to make me cough, but I maintain my cool.
I thought that'd be a bit much, honestly. Good to know you can handle it like that. It's strong, but not quite on my level. Want another one? What are you in the mood for?
I want what you have, just a bit stronger, not too much. God. I probably will go with this one, but let's be a bit
Now you're
flirty.
talking. Here, I promise you won't regret this.
Swap. Once again, he motions the bartender to give him a drink. Oh, and I'm given a drink. I can tell this one's stronger. It's exactly the same as Ulrich's. As time passes, I notice him to start exhibit signs of inebriation. I grip the glass and take a large swig. It burns. My eyes shoot wide open, and I try not to spit it out. It's a brief battle, but I eventually stomach it all.
Wow, you're good. Most people can't handle this stuff. Mazeo is known for its strong liquor.
He crosses his arms and stares at me with a blank look. But soon after, his facial expression becomes more stern. It's clear that the drinks are starting to hit him, and fast.
I guess I'll stop messing with you for now. Truth is, I just wanted to see how much you could handle. It's a good test.
I think
Nice
I'll
type
actually
of
leave
character,
this.
And you passed.
He was testing me?
You learn a lot about someone by how they hold their liquor. You're strong, at least. You have a strong will. I respect that. This is part of how they do things back in Alarenthia.
They make their new friends drink a bunch of alcohol?
I know I say I hate it, and I truly do, but some of its culture sticks with me. You left Valenorth, so it'll likely be the same.
He waves to the bartender to bring him another drink. Or who brings him another drink? Honestly, I'm surprised he's still coherent. That's crazy. Sweeting it down, he lets out a sigh of complete content.
Sorry for rambling on like that. If there's anything I hate, it's a one-sided conversation. Is there anything you want to ask me?
Okay, I think this is where I want to save. Do you think there's a way we could save Valenoise? You were just telling me about no, really lengthy. Tell me about your love life.
There isn't one to talk about, but that's by choice. I prefer to keep things casual without any strings. I have my reasons, but it served me just fine.
He smiles at me and takes another swig.
Don't worry. I've definitely noticed your interest, so that's why I'm making things as clear as possible. Knowing that, do you really want to continue down this path?
Yeah, I definitely do.
Good to know.
We're going all
I
in.
share the same interest. When you live as long as I have, you pick up on these things. No need to make a big deal out of this. It's just fun. When we get back to our new HQ, Dominic will give you a tour.
Oh.
My doors are open. If you want to do this,
Oh.
I'll be there.
Well.
Just don't tell anyone. You know how rumors spread. Either way, I think I've had enough. I'm gonna buy a bottle to bring to my chambers. Feel free to join me if you want to share another drink.
Aww. I know how to stand up, but all the drinks hit me at once. I stumble back and Ulrich catches me, wrapping his arms around me.
Hey now, watch your step. The ground here could do some real damage.
Rather than letting go, he lets his hands wander around my body. My heart rate increases, and I feel his hot breath strike my neck.
Actually, I think I'll get a few bottles for my place. Something tells me we'll be having more fun than
Whoa! Damn! He's going in hard. Literally. I'm sorry. A few moments later, before overstepping any boundaries, he lets me go. Buying a few bottles of wine, he keeps his word before moving on to other things. Socializing with tavern patrons, it seems like our moment was over. I guess we had to get things back on track. That was as enjoyable as that was. We had business to take care of. Hopefully we had more time like this to unwind in the future. Alright, load. Sorry, Ulrich. You're going to have to sleep alone. Although I guess I haven't met the last character. I don't want to go harem mode and
I
date
think so,
everybody.
yeah. We'll have lots of work to do after we win this war. Either way, I think...
Oh. Oh, it must have queued a click during the crashing. Mm-hmm. What were you telling me about? Well, you were just telling me about Alarinthia.
Honestly, there's not much more to say. I'm a man between two worlds, and it's complicated. It's hard to shake the habits of where we come from. Either way, I think I've had enough. I'm gonna buy a bottle to bring.
Another drink. Hits me at once, stumble over me. I use the bar to brace myself. Aw,
Hey
he
now,
doesn't
watch
catch
your
me.
step. The ground here could do some real damage.
Damn. If you're not dating him, he doesn't care to catch you. Shake my head and regain my clarity. It's a mystery to me how Or can handle this stuff. It would be a long time before I could reach his level. True to his word, he bought a bottle of alcohol and walks away. Takes a few deep breaths. Clear my head. Ooh, to ensure my head is clear before moving. Got to get things back on track. As noble as it was, have business to take care of. And unwind in the future. Hey, hey. Now that we are properly inebriated, let's go to the mayor's house. We follow after Demix and embark on what seems like an endless journey. However, after an hour or so of walking, we end up in a residential area. The buildings here are built beautifully, very different from before.
Wow, this place looks incredible. My town square was a little bit off. Not the best first impression, if you ask me.
It's a sign of wealth to live far away from the markets. Only those who work live near the town square. Once you've got it made, you move out here.
That is, of course, unless you're important to Mazeo. Grizz gets to live here free of charge for his services. That offer even extends to Lilith, his assistant.
You mean like our elder back in Valenorth?
And Seer, too, 'cause that's what you told me, right? And just have every whim taken care of ever.
Yeah, exactly, so make sure to be careful. In this district, pretty much everyone is royalty. Or at least they expect to be treated that way.
Alright, thanks for the advice, Dominic.
She moves to the back of the group, almost like she's worried. We continue to walk, but not for much longer. Demix stops in his tracks.
To your right, Grizz's office. Sorry it took a while, but you know how it is. It'll be an even longer trek back to our new HQ.
He laughs and motions to the nearby building. It stood out from the rest in both quality and size.
It's time for you to tell us what's going on. I hate being left in the dark.
Yes. I hate being left in the dark like this. You know that.
Of course. You know I'm a man of my word. I just didn't like talking about the stuff in the town square.
He cracks his knuckles, like he's preparing for something. He faces towards Valessa, Fortem, and myself with a smile. It's almost like he assumes that Ulrich and Pro are up to speed.
Well, as you know, Mazio is rampant with piracy. All of that chaos needs some sort of order, right? Two pirates have risen to the challenge, Alex and Nada. Unifying all the pirates isn't an easy task, but they did
Quite
it.
impressive, honestly.
They have established trade routes on the largest fleet in the world. We want to strike a deal with them and gain some ships. Easy, right? When we attack Balteus, we won't be able to hold back. Having enough ships to carry our massive army over is essential. And if we can get the pirates to fight with us, even better. Grizz made it clear that he wants to cut a deal. In order to win them over, we'll need to bend to their will. However, after learning that Alex and Nada have started to fight, now we have to choose who we side with. They both want different things, but they both offer ships. That's why we're here. I imagine they're waiting inside.
Interesting. He speaks with such passion and enthusiasm, it's enthralling. It was clear that he truly cared about Olestia and its people.
The future of Mazeo is likely going to change. It's so exciting. I'll negotiate with them and Grizz will make any necessary decrees. I just want my favorite people present. So that's why you're all here.
He smiles and turns back to Ulrich and Pro.
I trust there aren't any objections.
Iggyati! Ulrich scoffs, crossing his arms.
You sure upped the scale of our attack. I thought we just planned to steal a few ships, but now you want an entire fleet? What changed?
We need to give this our all if we're going to win. But remember, we have a world to reshape when we're done. Striking a deal with the pirates is something that needs to happen. I mean, we could wait until after the war, but if we do it now, we stand a better chance of winning. Plus, the people need to know that we're capable rulers too.
Fair enough. I concede.
Ulrich smiles and the promise of more power and might appealing his curiosity.
That's brilliant, Domek! Taking care of 10 problems with one move, as usual. I'm just glad that they get to see for themselves now.
He motions to Vlessa, Fortem, and I. That seemed like a sound strategy, to be honest. Gain military might and prove himself capable of leadership. People would need to know that he is worth following. Releasing Mazeo from the grip of the Triumvirate would be a great start. Thankfully, Grizz was on our side. This wouldn't be possible otherwise.
Well, I guess it's time. I'm a little nervous, but I'll manage.
With a quick smirk, he's on his way inside. Pro and Ulrich go too, expecting us to follow suit.
Man, things are sure busy around here. Hope we get to rest when we get to our HQ.
Come on, Fortem. It's interesting. We're watching history in the making here.
If it's history, then it'll be in a book. I'd just sleep and read it when I get up.
They talk amongst themselves as they enter Grizz's house. I guess I should hurry in, so I don't miss anything. Well, there is nothing to interact with here. Grizz's house is so much more impressive than the others. It stands just as tall, but easily twice as wide. He must have tons of free space in there. The residential district seems to go on forever, but it's all flat. There is no elevation like in Valinor. Back home, social status was determined by how high you live. The elder lives right at the top since he's the most important.
Well, well, well.
Well, well, well indeed. Hello, Crafty. Welcome. All in a row. Oh, yeah, I see. Huh, the bot was wrong. But thank you for the resub. Here too, nonetheless. 3-month streak, I believe. At least according to that notification. Bot broken. How you doing? And thank you so much. I appreciate it. I was given a house right next to his on Main Street, and easily walked to Milas's. I wonder how social status is determined in Mazeo. Maybe I'll ask Demic. I read this. Signpost points in every possible direction. It doesn't point up. They're labeling things like Town Square and Residential District. A couple of the others say Docks and Church of the Triumvirate. I guess it was easy to find the directions in Mazeo. It seems like their HQ is in the opposite direction. As I've learned, it's located in tunnels underneath the church. But sealing the tunnels underneath the Triumvirate's church... Something about that seems incredibly risky to me. I'm sure Demix knows what he's doing, though. Alright, let's get inside. When I enter Grizz's house, I'm taken aback by how massive it is. The front desk, probably for his assistant, rests near the front door. Behind is a massive atrium, with a staircase leading up. I mean, I see 2 staircases. I'm willing to bet Grizz's office is at the top of that staircase. I look around and find Demix, Org, and Pro chatting with a woman. This must be the assistant that Demix mentioned earlier. After noticing me enter, she quickly approaches us. Valessa and Fortem retreat behind me, leaving me in charge. I take a step forward and introduce myself to her without hesitation.
I've heard so much about you, Seer. It's a pleasure to finally meet you in person.
Oh, right, you have aggressively red hair. And you have 2 PNGs. She puts her hand forward and I give her a firm handshake. Volus and Fortim seem immediately at ease as she is very friendly. For a moment, I am not entirely sure what they were expecting.
I'm guessing that's the Blade of Exodus.
And that's the other PNG. She tilts her head towards me and back, or towards my back.
You can take that cloak off in here, by the way. Everybody in this office knows what's going on. There's no need to hide around Grizz.
I also forgot I was completely cloaked up. I nod and remove the makeshift hood covering my head. I feel the fresh Mosaean air on my face for the first time.
Come back here with the rest of us, alright? I think they're almost ready to
Well,
head upstairs.
Were you wearing that fucking backwards? How do you not feel it on your face? How did you fashion that hood? Are you stupid? She motions to the main landing of the atrium. We move past her desk, which acts almost like a barrier. I'm assuming she acts as Grizz's guard as well, standing watch. After a few moments, we regroup with the others. They're talking amongst themselves, but Lilith brings that to an end. Clapping her hands together once and very loudly, their attention is grabbed.
Sorry, Lilith. Just lots to think about at the moment. I'm almost nervous to walk up there, if I'm honest.
There's no need to be nervous, Dominic. It won't be any different from the last time you were here. Just a few added bodies, that's all. Not the end of the world.
I just don't want to make the wrong choice. There's a lot riding on this, Lilith.
Have you made the wrong choice in the past?
Well, I don't think so.
Then you'll be fine. Besides, Alex and Nada aren't too bad. They're both
Well,
playing
good.
ball to get what they want. That means they'll have to be on their best behavior. So if being in the presence of pirates was a worry for...
No.
Oh, no, that's not it at all. I'm more than happy to work with the pirates. You're right, though. I have a good track record.
He lets out a nervous laugh before looking up to the top of the stairs.
I guess that'll have to do. Are they ready?
Yeah, they're expecting all of you. It might be a bit crowded, but you'll manage.
Did you happen to overhear anything? You know, so I don't go in blind?
Unfortunately, no. They're being very discreet.
Oh well, worth a shot. I guess it's finally time to do this. Are you ready, everybody?
He looks at all of us one by one and we nod. I can tell he's trying to delay this, but I'm not sure why.
Grizz will give me a debriefing when you're done. I know you're busy, so after this, just go on your way. Lots to do and little time to do it, right?
She glances at me and the sword on my back before walking away. It seemed this quick detour wasn't going to be quick at all. During these negotiations, everything could change. Hopefully Demix would be able to get what he needs. I just hope that the pirates' demands aren't too extreme. With the high ground, they had the right to request anything. We all look at the top of the stairs, ready to get things moving. This will be a very important moment for Demix and the rebels. To that end, we shouldn't keep Grizz waiting for too much longer. I'm going to talk to everyone. Important papers are strewn about the desk. It's not my business to read them, but curiosity overtakes me. I slowly approach to the desk and try my best to make out what I can. It seems a bunch of papers regarding upcoming shipments. The correspondence between Grizz and Moseo Shipping Company. Underneath those papers is a letter between Grizz and the
Hey, get away from there. Those papers aren't for your eyes. That's top secret. Only for the mayor.
Then why leave them out in the open like that? Before I can continue, she gathers them up and takes them away. She's running all over the place. Lilith must be a busy girl. There's a book sitting wide open on one of the desks. What is that soundbite from? A soundbite played in my head where it's just somebody screaming, "You're wide open!" Kind of in that cadence, but I don't know what game it's from. Probably a Naruto fighter, if I had to guess. Yeah, that's probably what it is. There's a book sitting wide... I reread that. It seems to be a news article, and recently written too. I inspected further and learned details of Moseo's piracy.
The blurred lines of piracy. The pirates of Moseo undertake the importing and exporting of illicit goods. Everything else is handled by the Moseo Shipping Company, and there is little else that divides the two factions. They both have established trade routes, a large group of workers and clients all over Alestia. Many people see the pirates as harmless individuals, simply looking to make a living by seizing opportunities that others don't. The way that pirates are treated today is vastly different than before the Triumvirate's occupation of Mazeo. Was that intentional? We have to wonder if this was the Triumvirate's goal. When asked his opinion on this matter, the local pirate lord Alex had this to say. I find it hard to believe that a small piece of paper is all that stands in the way of me and my people living an honest life. We don't hurt anybody or put anyone in danger. The people of Mazeo are clinging to a legal decree that makes no sense. I'd like to see the trade bans lifted and me and my people introduced into society as honest workers. That is my dream, and I continue to fight for it. When asked for her opinion, Nada, the other pirate lord, refused to comment.
I guess things are more complex than I thought. It's almost like Alex is fighting for more rights. All that divides the group is one piece of paper. Alright, let's listen in on this conversation.
Hey, Lilith.
Hey.
Yeah? Is there a library in Mazeo? Like, a place to read up on the spirits? I have some stuff I'd like to look into.
Unfortunately, no. The Triumvirate seized all of that long ago. Rumor has it
Triumvirate.
they've stuffed it all in Balteus.
You mean at the Grand Library?
Yeah, but I don't know for sure. It's just ancient rumors at this point.
Ancient?
There's a group of people that say so, yeah. They think life existed on Alestia before the Triumvirate. When they took over, they just stole
Triumvirate.
any writing saying otherwise.
That's impossible.
Hey, I didn't say they were a smart group. But nobody has been to the Grand Library to see. The Triumvirate keeps such a tight grip on Balteus.
So they can't prove their theories. But at the same time, we can't disprove them.
Exactly. Unless you visit the Grand Library. You are going to Balteus, right?
That's the end goal, yeah.
Then maybe we'll find out soon. Whatever knowledge they have in there, we deserve to know. I'm sure Domic will open its doors to everybody after the war.
Okay, what do you have to say, Fortum?
Who do you side with, Lilith?
What do you mean? Like, between Alex and Nada?
Yeah, the pirates. I was just curious, that's all.
Well, I don't know their demands. That would play a big part in my choice. But even then, it's not my place to decide.
Oh, I'm not asking you to decide. It's just a hypothetical question. Hey, take your time. It's not an easy decision after all.
Alex, hands down.
Or you could answer instantly. But why Alex? What makes him better?
He treats me with respect, that's what. Not on the other hand, well, that's a different story. The way I look at things, there's two types of people. Those that use others as stepping stones for success, and those that respect others, rising to the top together. Nada is the former, and Alex is the latter. She's ruthless. She's pretty much double-crossed everybody but Grizz. If that ever happens, trust me, I won't be surprised at all.
How do we know we can trust her then?
Well, her and Alex have the edge in negotiations. They have what we want, so they can demand anything. I have no doubt that Nada will try to gain power and influence. These are the things she'd usually stab others in the back for, but now she has an opportunity to get it just by helping Grizz.
Oh, I guess that makes sense. She's only in it to get what she wants.
Yeah, and Alex on the other hand, I'm sure his demands will benefit more than him. That's just the type of guy he is, so I like him more.
All right. Thanks for the information.
No problem, little one.
Little one. Okay. You're ready to move along. Alright, gotta make another important decision. Hello, returned. You haven't missed much. We're about to go do important things now. That's the door that leads to Grizz's office. Quite the dramatic sight, if you ask me. It definitely makes him feel more important. Underneath the stairs rests some sort of contraption. If I had to guess, it would be a statue representing a spirit idol. There is an artist's name and date on it. It must have been expensive. I hit the wrong button. There we go. We all enter the office in sync, and everyone inside stares at us. It's odd, but at first glance, I can tell exactly who everybody is. Nada takes a few steps forward, and a sly smirk on her face.
Late, are you? Good to know your word is trustworthy. It's not like this is important or anything like that.
It's clear bait, and Demick doesn't take it at all. Instead, he smirks back and approaches Grizz and the pirates. Cutie, more like.
Actually, this meeting doesn't start until I arrive. So, Nada, you're actually early. Very obedient of you. A bit softer than your reputation cites, but I'll let it slide.
She struggles to conjure up a comeback. She simply shrugs. Demix approaches Grizz's desk and waves us all over. It isn't much longer until we're all cramped together.
Grizz, I'd like to introduce you to the Seer.
Hello. My name is Seer. I see things. I take a step forward and offer a hand to Grizz. He raises from his chair and gives me a handshake, firm. A firm handshake. Wait, no, I still read it wrong.
Those two must be your friends.
I still read that wrong. And gives my hand a firm shake. Okay, I understand why I read it backwards twice. What do you see? Oh. I turned on the charm on Ulrich, and he immediately caved. And we, shared a moment of hot breath on the back of necks. And then I also flirted with Pro, and he wants to get drunk in his room later. Yeah, there was some woes in that scene for sure. But I went and did all those because this little blue boy right here is what I'm going after. He's too goddamn cute. And then the rest was just kind of lore dumping. I nod, as he looks at Valessa and Fortem.
Say, have you three been to Museo before? I can't put my finger on it, but you look familiar.
I look cross-eyed. I shake my head and he promptly returns to the chair. Wait, we have. Or did our parents leave us behind? Maybe I had it backwards. Oh well. He looks at us. He looks at all of us, one by one, and lets out a loud sigh.
Oh well, not that it matters anyway. I'd like to thank you all for coming to my office. Today we discuss the matter of Damek and the pirates.
What have you got for me, Grizz? Surely you have their demands laid out on the table.
Yes, of course. I made them write up their demands in private. I didn't want them influencing each other in any certain direction.
Oh, the children. He points to two pieces of paper on the table. They're resting on his table. They're turned upside down so nobody can read them. Okay, we're in
Here's
school.
how this is going to work. Neither pirate knows which paper is theirs. Damek, you and your allies are to read each one. Afterwards, each pirate is to explain their demands out loud. This is to make sure they haven't gotten greedy or changed their mind. We also need some witnesses, which is why I had you bring some friends. At that point, Damek may converse with his allies. When a decision is made, we will both sign the chosen demands. To avoid any conflict, neither pirate will learn if they were chosen. When everybody leaves, the demands will be mailed back. The pirate that receives a signed paper today will know they were chosen. There is no time for drama or infighting on my property. Understand?
Lol.
I understand.
Dominic looks over to Nada and Alex, awaiting their approval.
Yeah, I understand.
Me too.
Oh, right. I forgot how aggressively red you are. Demix places his hands on the desk, looking over the papers. But before taking any action, he turns his head towards me.
Seer, I'd like your input on this. You're no stranger to tough decisions, right?
Oh my god, you're right. Because it's before he lost his hand. Holy shit, we found the genesis of Foxy.
And from what I've heard, we share some common views. It couldn't hurt to get a second opinion from someone like you.
I nod and walk up to the desk, standing beside him. We stare down at the two papers, hesitant.
You may begin the first phase. Remain silent, but read the papers over.
A few moments later, Demix grabs one of the papers. He inches closer to me and slowly turns it around. It's Alex's offer. He wants to trade bans to be lifted from Mazeo. If this is done, the pirates must be all offered jobs in their shipping company. Piracy will be no more, and Mazeo will turn into a nation of free trade. In exchange, he can offer ships and crew of those who side with him. This makes approximately 35% of the total pirates in Mazeo. He cannot guarantee how Nada's followers will react to this change. Demix places the paper face down and quickly grabs the other one. He shows no expression, wearing a perfect poker face. The perfect poker face. Turning the paper around, it's time to see the other half, Nada's offer. She wants Mazeo to be divided into two. If this is done, all of the pirates will move to the new nation out of Mazeo's way. Of course, she must be declared head of the new pirate nation. Furthermore, her demands include much more details about the division of Mazeo. It's done so in a fashion that gives both sides equal market and residential space. Mazeo currently owns all of this, so it would negatively affect the nation. In exchange, she can offer approximately 65% of her total pirates in Mazeo. This includes a massive arsenal of ships, making Alex's offer seem inconsequential. Pat on the phone right now. I think the only problem is FNAF's like old as shit, isn't it? And this game I think was like a 2020 game? Wait, when did this game come out? So it could still just be the origin story though. It could be a prequel sequel. It doesn't matter that it came out later. 2019. That's close. Both demands share one thing in common. Pirates' criminal records are to be wiped. That should have been the pirates' criminal records, or the pirate criminal records are to be wiped. Demix places the second paper down and shrugs.
Well, I guess that's it then.
Grizz nods.
Indeed. We can move on to phase 2. Alex and Nada, it's your turn to step forward. Your verbal demands must match the papers.
In response to Grizz's order, they both stepped forward. This whole thing seemed incredibly well thought out. There was no room for error in any possible way.
My demands are quite simple, actually. All pirates will have their criminal records erased. Furthermore, the trade bans will be lifted from Mazeo. Pirates will be publicly pardoned and no longer ostracized. They will be offered jobs within the Mazeo Shipping Company. Our clients, our cargo, and our trade routes will all carry over as well. This will reintroduce us to society and legitimize all of our efforts. Mazeo will be free as it once was, and as it always should be. In exchange, I offer 35% of Mazeo's pirates and their ships.
He takes a few steps back, crossing his arms. Nada scoffs before vocalizing her demands.
I can offer the other 65%. I think that puts me a cut above Alex.
This certainly gives a reaction from the others in the room. However, we can't get won over by just numbers. We were deciding the future of Mazeo.
I also want all criminal records expunged. However, my other demands are a bit more extreme. I want Mazeo divided in half. I want a new nation born. All pirates will be moved to this new nation under my lead. Mazeo will no longer be able to interfere with our work. I will determine where the nation is split in half. I want both residential and commercial land. We will be given everything we need to live happily. That is my demand. A new nation built for piracy.
He steps back, content with what she said. Grizz turns to face Domix and myself again.
Does that align with the demands on paper?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes, I believe it does. What was the next step again?
You may take some time to think. Talk with your allies, and then give me an answer.
Oh, right, sorry. My mind is all over the place. There's no need to think. I already have my answer.
Oh, is that so?
Is he hungry for power?
Yeah, of course. This one was simple for me.
I think he is gonna side with Nada just because he wants to hit hard and he wants to hit hard. I with the cat lady, the hot cat lady. Same. Oh. I read that differently, or I understood that differently. I know what you're saying now. Now, are you siding with her because she's hot cat lady, or because you want an army? He crosses his arms and turns to face me.
Well, what about you? Who would you choose?
Alright, important decision time. He's... I'm thinking of how to answer this. Because one part of me wants to make the decision that sides with Damek, because he's the one I'm going after. Another part of me wants to choose Alex, because that seems like the appropriate response. But then another part of me wants to choose Nada, because I'm pretty sure that's what he wants. I'm gonna go with Alex's first, and assume that I'm going to have to go with Nada's. I point to the paper that contains Alex's demands. Damek laughs and then gives me a wide smile.
Great minds think alike, I suppose. Good to know we have the same idea. Let's sign this one, Grizz. It's my final choice.
Alright. Voting for Foxy is the morally right choice. He points to some paper. He points to the same paper, and Grizz brings out a quill. They waste no time in signing it and making an official decree. Nada is because she makes me happy. I want to be happy. In an official decree. After that, Grizz rolls both papers up and seals them with wax.
Nada, Alex, thank you both for your kind offers. I'll have these mailed back to you right away. You'll know within a few hours, I'm sure.
Sounds good to me.
God, he's so red. Why is he so red? Well, wait. He could have a hook hand, because I don't think we've seen his hands. This could be Foxy.
This one's as good as mine.
Also, what are you? Are you a leopard? This one's as good as mine. After saying their final words, they both leave. An awkward silence overtakes the room.
You're all free to talk again, you know.
He just
We
eavesdrop
just
outside.
didn't want Alex and Nada to know Domek's choice.
After hearing that, everyone is at ease, talking amongst themselves. They theorize who we chose.
Well, Domek?
Who did you choose? Oh, you'll find out soon enough. Sorry for this little detour, everybody. We can make our way back to HQ now. Though I think we should cut through the docks. It's crowded, but it will make for a nice shortcut. We're already running behind schedule.
Why wouldn't we take that route then anyway? He sneers at Pro, who quickly backs off. Ulrich takes the message as well and stops asking.
I hope you got what you needed, Domek. Attacking Balteus will be no easy feat.
Why did he sneer at him?
We'll be more than fine, Grizz. I trust you can handle things from here?
I guess it's the equivalent of giving somebody a dirty look. Okay, so let's see what happens when I choose Nada. I'm okay with this timeline. I am curious which one's going to lead to what, like purity or corruption. Also, I crashed the game. Alright. Mouse, where are you? Come back. Nada's demands. My glass and gives me a wide smile.
Great minds think alike, I suppose.
Oh!
Good to know we have the same idea. Let's sign this one, Grizz. It's my...
So he agrees regardless.
Nada, I'll...
Sounds good to me.
God, he's crisply red.
This one's as good as mine.
They both leave. Huh. So it didn't affect things in that regard. I guess I'm just curious which one is which, then. Oh, 10 purity. Alright, we got the pure option, then. Means more genuine reactions to the deal as the game goes. I wonder if he just agreed with me to agree with me then. And then like later he says, man, I really wish we had gone with that. Or we had gone with hers. Because the naval force. I don't know if this game is going to be that deep. Like, I kind of think that as soon as we leave here, the decision isn't going to be brought up. Short of, like, just seeing the results of it. So whether or not it was actually what he wanted, I don't think we'll ever know. That's the vibe the game is giving me, at least.
Of course. But there may be some contempt coming. Don't be surprised if Alex or Nada comes fuming to you.
Oh right, yeah, there is the problem of we're going to start a war with the pirates.
Of course. Thank you so much, Grizz. We couldn't do this without you.
Don't worry about it. Just make sure I don't regret this. Crossing the Triumvirate is a bad idea.
Okay, they won't have to worry about it.
You won't, I promise. If you'll excuse us, though, we need to go. I still have to give them the grand tour after all.
Oh, I cut off his laugh. Grizz nods, and it seems we're dismissed. I guess our next step was to head to the docks. Demix sure seems excited about this tour.
All right, let's go.
Ah, true morale.
I'll make the announcement back at HQ. We have a new ally and a lot more power.
He holds a closed fist up to his chest, resolute.
We're going to do this. I know it.
So cute. And with that, it's time to get things on the move. I'd finally start training and see the Rebellion HQ. Fate of Mazeo. Oh, those two get to talk. Interesting. What is it? Right, save. Because I'm going to have to, like, make a corruption save, too, now. That's fine.
Hey, Grizz?
Yes?
What's with that sheep around your neck?
Thank you for asking!
Oh, you mean Lassiter?
What has a name?
I guess?
When I was younger, I used to be a shepherd.
Oh my god, he's a sheepdog.
But that didn't last long before I served the Triumvirate. They made me kill all my sheep before they accepted me.
No!
What?
I guess it was to prove myself. You know, that I'd leave my old life behind. I did what they said, but I kept a souvenir.
Oh, I see.
Huh.
It's always important to remember where you came from. Did you bring any souvenirs from Valenorth along with you?
Actually, no. Unless my clothes count.
Depends who you're asking.
But, you know, I'm not actually leaving Valenorth behind. We'll save it, and go back one day. I know it. That's one of our goals during this journey.
I see.
think maybe resting in pieces, but... This just shows me that, yeah. There's a ton of papers on the floor. I inspect them closer, they're all dated for today. Could Grizz really be that busy? Wow. I look over at Fortem, he's shaking. I can tell the mess is bothering him, but he also knows he can't touch it. The bunny is set to vibrate. I thought there was just a metronome in the background. Alright. Moving right along to the docks. You chose to form a treaty with Alex. Oh, okay. Okay. Alright, to the docks. When we arrive at the docks, we finally get an up-close view of everything. It's a massive shipyard with vessels both arriving and departing. People run in every direction, and a mixture of workers and pirates. I suppose they share the same workspace. It's interesting how I can discern the pirates from their coats and demeanor. After a few steps into the shipyard, we're surrounded by tons of people.
Hey, stick close to me. Wouldn't want to get lost, right?
Yes. He inches closer to me, and we make our way through the shipyard. It must be their busy hour or something, because we can barely move. People bump into us and apologize before moving on their way.
We're heading to that bridge up there.
Get out of the gutter, head. He points... Like... I glanced down at his dialogue before he said it, and I misread the word bridge. I'll let you imagine what word that my brain did read. It starts with a B. I don't know why. He points forward to a bridge in the distance. At this weight, it would take hours to get there. Fortem lets out an exasperated sigh.
Seriously? How much longer is this gonna be?
Clam down.
Oh, don't be so dramatic, Fortame. We'll be able to rest before you know it. Enjoy the journey. Mazeo is beautiful.
Alright.
I mean, when you have this adorable blushing boyo. Look at that face, he's so cute. Fortem continues walking, defeated. As we inch our way forward, we start to lose hope. However, it isn't long before that hope is kindled again.
Hey, Domek!
You don't know who you are. A voice shouts from high up, and we turn to look. There's a man at the top of the there's a man at the top of one of the ships, acting as a lookout. After seeing Damek, he quickly makes his way down to us all. He slides down the ladder, quickly making his way to the surface. Standing on the edge of the ship, he grips the railing tight.
Where have you been? It feels like I haven't seen you in ages.
What are you? He jumps over the edge of the ship, landing on the ground with style. He passed his acrobatics check. I can tell he is a pirate, and must be another ally. That was good. In the upcoming battle, we need as many allies as possible.
Grayson, it's so good to see you again. Don't worry, it's nothing personal. I'm just busy. We've been cooking up something really special.
He doesn't look very gray. Or I guess maybe he's just the son of Gray.
Special, huh? Well, that's all you had to say. You know I've got your back in everything.
Damek steps closer and whispers in Grayson's ear. No doubt he's confiding in Grayson about the recent choice.
Oh, an alliance? Beautiful. We'll be working together more then. And I must say, you made a fine decision, Damek.
He smiles and makes an interesting signal with his arms. He's thieves canting. At least from what I understand, like in D&D, thieves cant is actually just like it's like there's like a written component to it, and then there's just like gestures to it. Like it's not actually like a spoken language. So you just Fortnite dance at people and they know what you're saying. Stupid memes. Like D&D things. Where did my mouse go?
Gotta get back to the church, I'm guessing? Sorry about my crew. They're good at getting in the way. In fact, I'm not sure what else they're good for these days.
Damn. I don't think you're an important character because you have 2 PNGs. Between every few words, he glances behind Damek. His eyes shift between Valessa, Fortam, and myself.
Can I help you with something?
Oh, sorry, not at all. You just looked familiar, that's all. Like some pirates Nada used to work with.
Were our parents pirates? Were they working to get apples for Fortem? Was the trade ban already? No, because that was like after they took over. Like apples were already banned, and they were just smuggling more into the village. Huh.
Familiar. Chris said the same thing, actually. Just one of those faces, I guess.
Not just any faces, mind you. I was taken aback because you look like legends. A few infamous pirates from back in the day.
Oh,
you
wow.
know?
Pirates? No relation, I assure you.
Huh, interesting. She laughs and Grayson nods.
Yeah, just a small world.
When you say small world, that's not... you're not dismissing what she says. You're saying, yeah, you're the children. It seems like he's unsure if that's an insult or not. And for that matter, so does Valessa. Grayson lets it slide. A few moments later, he climbs up the netting of the ship to ship of the sail. What did I just read? Side of the ship. I swear I read the word. I saw the word sail. What the fuck? It isn't much longer until he's back on top of the mast, looking out. He shouts to his crew, and they move aside, leaving an open trail for us. Were all these pirates his crew? He must be a man of great influence.
It's always good to have friends in high places.
Literally. There's still people wandering the shipyard, but not as many as before. In fact, we'd be able to continue forward without any issue at all.
That was Grayson. We go way back. He's a great ally, and he'll have our back no matter what. I doubt he cares whether we sided with Alex or Nada.
That was good. His crew seemed massive. The ship as well was in pristine condition.
Well then, on we go?
Onwards and upwards. As he talks, he motions to the bridge once more. We give each other some space, happy to be moving freely again. I guess we could resume our journey without any struggles. I don't know why, but for some reason, at some point, my brain's like, yo, imitate the narrator from Stanley Parable. And now I, like, kind of can't stop. I don't know why. I don't know why my brain is like, do it! Do thing! Alright, let's see. What do you have to say?
Hey.
Hey. Oh, we have a full-blown conversation.
It's interesting, to say the
What do you think
least.
Museo so far?
It's a lot busier than I thought it would be. It makes Valinor look dead by comparison. I'm actually longing for that peace again, though. This place is chaotic. There's so much going on. Hopefully the Rebel HQ will be a bit like home.
Sleepy time. It's already 10 o'clock. I have put Loose Gamamon to sleep because I wanted to take my self-voicing enabled. Press V to disable.
Valessa, hey. What do you think of Damek?
I guess if my voice
What do you think of Valessa, hey?
I guess if my voice goes out, I can just have Microsoft Sam read for me.
He seems to know what he's doing. I mean, I had some doubts going into this actually, but he's proven himself to be a capable leader. I like how charismatic he is, you know? It's a lot easier
He's
to
also
follow somebody
super
like
cute.
that. Some people demand respect. He earns it.
Valessa,
To be honest, I'm actually not sure.
What are your thoughts on
He
Perot?
seems nice, but I have my doubts. There's just something about him, you know?
A certain je ne
It
sais
doesn't
quoi.
help that he likes to cheat people. That's probably it. He is on our side, though, so I doubt we have to worry about him cheating us.
Valessa, hey. What do you think about Ulrich?
He's the strongest person I've ever met. I'm sure he'll be protecting us a lot in the future. I don't really have anything bad to say about him. He can be stern, but he has the best intentions. I mean, he has no patience for wasting time. Him and Fortin make an interesting combo.
Val. How are things between you and Fort Aim?
Pretty good, actually. I was worried. You know, about some of the choices you had to make. We've never really let them get between us, though. Unless there's something he's not telling me, but I doubt it. He's always been fully open with me in the past. I wouldn't worry about anything at all, Seer.
Valessa, exit.
Valessa, exit. Alright, let's go see what Sovi is up to. He's on a boat.
Savi and his crew wandered the crowded docks of Mazia. They stuck close together, to ensure that Shane didn't run away. Close to the rebellion's home, Savi was sure it crossed his mind.
Oh no.
Well, you sure seem a lot happier. Back on the boat, all you did was mope around.
Auto, please.
Auto forward. Halen, well, you sure seem—
Shut your ass.
Self-voicing disabled.
Sovi's golf turning to face his apprentice.
Self-voicing enabled.
Seasickness,
Savi,
I suppose.
seasickness,
As
I
old
suppose.
as I am, I've never
As
really
old as
gotten
I am,
used to it.
I've never really gotten used to it.
Why can't I auto with the voice thing on?
You can't be too much older than me.
Right. Sorry.
Besides, I think I know what's going on. You realize something about the triumvirate.
Yes, I did. I see through the trick now. It was a good idea, I'll give them that.
The trick now. Does he not trust them anymore? If you're dateable, I'm sorry, Demix.
Trick?
Yes, to put my loyalty to the test. There's no way what they told me was true. They merely want to see if I'll waver.
I see.
Opium.
That's why they wouldn't tell you either. This was a test, meant only for me.
I think you're huffing some copium, my man. I don't know what they told you, but that's just what I'm intuiting.
So, what happens now that you've passed?
I don't know.
I guess I'll find out once we return. I'm just glad that I can focus on the mission now.
Fuck, 1 second. God damn it. Oh, it's on the tip of my brain. I just realized who Sophie sounds like. It sounds like a discount, Fuck. What's his name? Oh, this is going to bother me. I need to look it up. Google Foo.
Sabi, I guess I'll find out once we return.
Well.
I'm just glad that I can focus on the mission now.
English. I guess right on the tip of my brain. Who's it? More items. Where are you? Cam Clark. Okay, Jesus Christ. It sounds like a discount Cam Clark. As while I'm here, I'm going to do some more Google Foo and look up who Pro is, because it's really bothering me. Wings of Change. Voice actors. Winds of Change, video game, 2018. I wonder what it came out on first. Let's see. I'm looking for Pro. Stanley walked to his boss's office. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he took the door on his left. I want full cast, please. Oh, hi there, opening. What? Pro doesn't have a voice actor? Is he a feckin' AI generated? Huh? No, I'm just confused. Oh shit, that's cool. This whole time, and I never knew. They're doing a pretty good job so far. Although I guess I'm not one to like judge
Sabi,
that kind of thing.
I guess.
Right, I'm glad too, I suppose. On the boat you were in no condition to perform.
After a few more minutes of walking, Sabi stops in his tracks. Halen and Shane bump into his back, causing him to stumble over.
Master?
Oh, sorry. Just...
Self-voicing disabled.
On my mind.
Cool and awesome epic and voice acting. Oh.
Oh, we're not lost, are we?
Sylvie stares at a cloaked figure in the distance. He smirks as he watches them walk through the docks with a group. A large item affixed to their back sways with each of their heavy steps.
No, not at all.
Oh no. Oh no. We've been spotted, and my disguise didn't do jack. Run. Wait, is that actually a sound alert that I have? Might be. Might not be, I don't know. I know it was like available, but... There's a bunch of housing. There's a bunch of houses lining the docks. They look fancy. Workers come and go telling me that this is a place of business. Near the back, I notice the houses are more run down. Cars move back and forth between these houses. I guess society on the left of them, or society only left them the scraps to work with. Hopefully things will be better for them soon. This is bad. There's a massive ship docked surrounded by workers. They don't seem to be dressed as pirates, though. We must be part of the Museo shipping company.
Wow, that ship is so cool! Will our ships be like that, Dominic?
Of course, we have only the best. Actually, ours might be better.
Why is that?
Pirates put more care into their ships. They don't just work on them, they live on them. The other people have homes to go back to.
So pirates are homeless?
Well, not exactly. A ship still counts as a home, they just share it with their crew.
Oh, yeah, I guess that makes sense. So ours will be even fancier than that? That's pretty hard to imagine. I'm excited.
I don't think fancier is the right word, but maybe loved.
Yeah, just be very careful. Pirates are super protective of their homes. If you broke something, well, let's not think about that.
Yikes.
Yikers. Honestly, the backdrops are really nice looking. Though I'm not sure what's going on right here. It looks like the water is just leaking onto the ground. There's not a very good sense of depth. Alright, let's look at this
What are
stuff.
these?
Traps.
Traps for what?
Seafood.
No. We don't have that back in Valinor. How do these things work exactly?
Well, these ones are mainly for lobster. It traps them inside and they're emptied out every day. Once a week, they're sold off in the market square for food.
So you capture them only to eat them?
Yeah?
I don't know how I feel about that. They're just minding their own business down there. Why should we snatch them up and kill them just like that?
Oh, Vanessa, you naive child.
Because they taste good.
Good answer. Although I don't think I've ever had I've not had lobster outside of sushi. You're in tune with Ulrich. Knows me. Or do you know him? No, I read that. We need to run. Oh god. What just happened? Okay, we're fine. I was spam clicking and the game didn't like it. Oh boy. Ovi is on our tail. After what feels like ages, we reached the end of the bridge. Although it didn't say he was chasing us, did he? Like, he didn't, like, turn around and pursue us, right? We all stop and catch our breath and let our legs relax. Demek wipes some sweat from his brow, laughing.
Bit of a workout, isn't it? Hopefully the trek was worth it. So, what do you think of our home?
Very grand. Also those burbs. He stands proud, staring at the nearby church. After getting our bearings back, we look on in awe.
Whoa. This place is crazy. I've never seen anything like it before.
And Fortum is scared. They really need an excited face. Just like oh! Because Fortum being scared, just it doesn't fit the mood.
Yeah, it sure stands out, doesn't it? Don't worry, that works to our advantage. When hiding, I find the most obvious spot is the best.
I guess they'd never expect their own church. But here's a question.
Hiding in
Why
plain
are there
sight
only
as it
2
goes?
statues? It's the triumvirate, right? Shouldn't there be 3?
Oh.
I don't know, actually. It's a bit odd when you think about it. Maybe they didn't have enough space?
He laughs awkwardly, shuffling in place. Perhaps he found his ignorance embarrassing.
I trust you're ready for the grand tour?
I nod, looking over Valessa and Fortame. It seems our long journey was over. We were here. This was our new home, whether we liked it or not. Don't think you're going anywhere anytime fast. Ulrich dies.
Yeah, I can't wait to see.
I'm game. Let's do this.
They both smile, ready to get things moving. Demek takes a few steps up the stairs and waves me over.
After you, of course. It would be rude to do this any other way. An esteemed guest of ours should always be first.
Yeah, no, you should be in there to welcome me in. That's how you should do it, man. I nod and get ready to enter the church. Ulrich, Pro, Valessa, and Fortane wait for my move. It seems almost everybody respected Demek's authority. Too bad I'm going to not do that. That's the bridge we used to come here. It was structurally sound, but it didn't feel like it. Part of me was scared it would fall apart from under us. Demek showed no signs of worry, however. That put me at ease since he was the local. If he was scared, I knew I'd be. If he was scared, I knew I'd be as well. A statue of a cloaked figure. Maybe they were the Biumvirate. And then they got a third member. But we're not sure who it's supposed to be. There's only 2 of them, it can't be the Triumvirate. If it were, then there should be a third statue. What? Where would the third statue go anyway? Maybe it's the church. Maybe it was just a space limitation thing. Either way, they look mysterious and brooding. It makes the entire church give off an eerie vibe. The architectural style wasn't helping either. The church looks so out of place. I've never seen anything like it before. It doesn't look like Mazayan. It doesn't look Mazayan, that's for sure.
That looks creepy.
It's modeled after Balteus. That's what things look like over there.
It's just got little faces on it, I see. Like, oh. Ooh. Oh.
And that's where we're going next. Just great. Now I'm even more afraid. Who makes stuff like this anyway?
Why would you be afraid of architecture?
Your guess is as good as mine. It doesn't fit in with any part of Alestia. Balteus is really distinct. It's kind of cool.
I'll take your word for it.
Don't take my word for it, try it out. Was no books to be had, only a side story, and more talking with Pro. First off, let's see what Grizz is up to. Grizz sits at his desk with his head in his hands, emotionally drained. Lilith enters his office, showing concern, but decides to talk business instead.
Grizz, sir. The papers have been sent back out. Alex and Nada should know momentarily.
Slightly shocked, Grizz shakes his head and rests his hands on his desk.
Thank you, Lilith. I couldn't do this without you.
All that thinking.
You give me too much credit. I'm just a glorified paper pusher. You do all the heavy lifting, you know.
He sighs and rests back in his chair.
And it's starting to weigh down on me. Lilith, can we talk off the record for a moment?
Of course, sir. Anytime you'd like.
It's about the occupation. As you know, I was involved with it.
Yeah, but that was ages ago. It's all in the past. You're a better man now.
That's the funny thing about the past, Lilith. It always has its way
Oh, no.
of catching up with you.
Are you going to betray us?
What do you mean?
Stabs Lilith.
Honestly, I wouldn't know where to start. But recently, Damek agreed to work with me. I wanted exclusive access to Mazeo's spirit idol.
Why?
You lost me.
I want to atone for what I've done, Lilith. So many spirits, trapped in those suits of armor. An eternity of mindless servitude to the Triumvirate.
And you can fix that with the spirit idol?
I hope so. Part of me always had some doubt, but today, I realized that this is my destiny. I can't doubt it or hide from it any longer.
Destiny? I'm not sure I buy into that stuff. I'd rather call the shots myself, you know?
Well, maybe purpose is a better word. At the end of the day, this is still my choice. But I wasn't certain until today. I saw something.
What did you see?
Back during the occupation, I killed so many innocent people. Made orphans
oh my god, did you
out of
kill our
so
parents?
Many children. I've been facing that for the last 20 years.
You killed our parents.
But today was the first time I faced it in person. It's the seer, and those 2 companions he had with them.
You mean Valessa and Fortem?
Yes, Lilith, all 3 of them. I couldn't put my finger on why they looked familiar, but I just realized it, and I know I need to take action.
He places his head he places his head back in his hands, almost ashamed.
Spitting images of people I killed during the occupation. I have no doubt in my mind that their parents died by my hand. I played a part in condemning them, forcing them into this war.
You bastard! He clenches his fist, trembling as he looks up at Lilith.
And now, I must play my part in
Yo,
ending
he's got
it.
an Engie.
I'm going to those tunnels, right now.
Huh, so we're going to meet up with him, I guess. Hey. Anything else you can tell me about Museo?
Not really, to be honest. You've already seen pretty much all it has to offer. It's constantly busy, and
I'm
it
surprised.
never
He
really
has
stops.
more than, like, 3 emotions. His assistant still has 2, but...
I can't even imagine living close to the docks. They work overnight, so it'd be too loud to sleep. The best places are either Grizz's area or our HQ. So maybe we can talk more about that once you see it. It's so silent underground you can hear almost everything. Makes it pretty easy to sleep. If you get the time, that is.
What are your thoughts on Valessa?
She's pretty cool. Seems to be pretty by the book. I mean, I don't see her breaking any laws or anything. I don't roll like that. Obviously, I live in a moral gray area.
I think you live in a morally black area, but... Yeah, you're just straight up a thief and blackmailer, like... That's not very gray, my man. You're giving yourself a little too much credit. Right? I'm assuming that's how that works. Like, white would be, like, the law-abiding, and black would not be. And then gray is obviously in the middle. Or is it the other way, or... I don't know. I'm going to stop. This is an awkward conversation.
That's not to say she's uninteresting, though. I just don't see myself getting too close to her. It's better for me to stick to like-minded people.
Ah, but if you have somebody who challenges your beliefs, you can grow as a person.
Who knows? Maybe she'll prove me wrong. War has its way of compromising almost everybody. I was born into this life, but I'm
never
sure
changes.
others can adapt to it.
What do you think about Fortame?
Now, he's a guy I could see myself getting along with. Can't wait to spend some more time with him in our HQ.
Oh?
He speaks his mind, he's energetic, and he's careless.
I don't want to go to a person that won't enjoy. It looks like you've got some competition. You gotta compete with Pro. You got 2 bottoms competing for each other. I don't know what Fortem wants. You got a bottom competing for your bottom.
Wait, am I talking about him or myself right now? Yeah, you get the idea. We're like peas in a pod. I'm sure we'll have no shortage of good times.
Oh, whoa. A good time, you say? What are your thoughts on me?
Oh, you sure like putting me on the spot. I think you're cool. I mean, from what I've seen. At first, I didn't really have a clue, but it's better now.
Stand a chance.
You've had to make some tough decisions, Seer. That's one way to gain my respect. Push through adversity. I still want a one-on-one interview with you in the future, though. It seems like you're starting to become quite important. I'd hate myself if I missed the opportunity to probe your mind, That's something we can talk about later on, though. We're busy.
Good thing he put the your mind and not just left it off as you. Otherwise, I might have taken that wrong. How often do you walk this far?
Well, pretty much every day. Except for the last couple of weeks, since I was in Valenorth. It's not too bad once you get used to it. I absolutely adore walking.
Oh no. I knew he was too good to be true.
It just takes some getting used to, that's all. Sometimes when I have it in me, I can even sprint. Running to the market from our HQ is pretty intense.
That just reminds me of something goofy. It was a D&D campaign. I had a dumb character. Like legitimately like low intelligence. Like it wasn't like a dumb concept or something. They just had low intelligence. And we're like level 1 or level 3. We're early levels. And we end up coming across, I think it was a mind flare. But it fecked off. It left. And we ended up fighting a brain sucker. But since my character was dumb, he thought we had killed a mind flare. So when we're going back and reporting this, because our companion had the brain sucker, I think, almost completely kill him by draining his intelligence. He had to get, like, not resurrected, but kind of resurrected by other friends' like, guild or whatever. So we're telling them the story. It's like, oh yeah, we killed a mind flare. And they're just like, what? That's all that there was to that story. I had a dumb character and it was fun. And then that campaign died because scheduling IRL D&D is just not possible. Oh man. That was an interesting campaign though. It was the Waterdeep campaign. I think it's the Dragon Vault one. So I think it was a module. We ended up owning a bar. And then on our opening night, my other friends did jack shit. They literally stood around and did nothing. So I decided, okay, I'll talk to everyone. I'm a swashbuckler. I'm a charisma man. And then yeah. And then we were never heard from again because, well, no. My other friend joined. He was what was it, a discount Indiana Jones, I think? That had like some spirit weapons, which were his like mother and father or something. He was just a treasure hunter. But that was pretty much shortly after that, it was never heard from again.
Nobody is interested in doing it with me, though. I need a workout partner to keep things interesting, you know? Everybody else defines working out as sparring in the barracks.
Okay, that's into that. Definitely a lot of front-loaded exposition, that's for sure. Okay, I think we're ready to move on. As soon as we enter, Demick walks down the center aisle. He trails a finger along the pews as he does, gathering up dust.
Not much time for triumvirate worship these days.
He makes his way to the spirit idol and back to the at the back of the church. Clapping his hands together, he frees himself of the dust.
This is the spirit idol of Museo. Or so we thought until recently.
It remains dust-free, unlike the rest of the church. He places a hand on the altar looking up at the idol.
We assumed it was dim and dying. You know, like the idol back in Valenorth. But that's not the case at all. We were shocked. The reason it's dim is because it's receiving power. However, the source of the power is deep underground. That's what the Triumvirate has been digging for. The entire reason for their occupation. And now, it's in the hands of the rebellion. First their sword, now the idol they sought.
He turns back to face us, a wide smile on his face.
It would seem the tables are turning.
The turntables turn.
Feel free to rest for a few minutes. There's still a bit of a walk ahead.
Seriously? More walking? When are we gonna get to rest?
Literally right now, Fortame.
Trust me, you'll get plenty of time to rest. Just take a breather before we continue.
That said, though, what are Fortem and Valessa going to do while they're here? I guess they're a part of the rebellion, so they would do something. And I guess Fortem has some responsibilities. I guess they'll just help each other. He points... I read it out as paws. He points to the paws before walking over to a door at the back corner.
This door will lead us to the tunnel, Seer. It's the final stretch, I can promise you that. Whenever you're ready, let's head on down.
Let's see, who do I get to talk with? He presses his back against the wall and crosses his arms. Everyone seems glad that he was offering us a brief reprieve. I take a few moments to collect myself before heading down. Oh no. I'm scared. OV6. Continuing their adventure through the docks, Sylvie keeps close to Shane. Leading everybody to a secluded back alley, he lets out a loud sigh. It was nice to get away from all the noise. Malzans were obnoxious.
What gives? This isn't the way to Valinor. But I guess you do like going backwards.
Cheers, love.
Oh, we'll get there yet. I just have some business to tend to. Shane, can I talk to you alone for a moment?
Shane nods and follows Sylvie deeper into the alleyway. Halen takes the note and stands guard, ensuring their privacy.
Look, something important has come up. You're aware of our moles within the rebellion, right?
Alleged moles.
Yes. Well, I found this at our drop point. I think it's something you'll be interested in.
Sylvie holds out a letter, prompting Shane to take it.
It's a letter written by Domek. Why is this important?
Just read it, Shane. It's from Domek to Valinorth's elder. It seems your capture was just part of his plan.
What?
Shane keeps reading the letter, his eyes shooting wide open. Every word is like a knife to the heart. He was betrayed.
He wanted me to get captured? Look at this. It says he hates me.
I'm sorry you had to find out this way, but your mission was only a cover. He wanted to kill you off, Shane.
That's not true. I refuse to believe this. I know Domek. He wouldn't do this to me.
Are you sure about that? It makes sense when you think about it. He sent you there to gain intel, right?
Oh. Wait. I thought his mission was to intentionally get caught and then gather intel. I thought that was what his mission was, so I'd assume he was just acting. So, was this actually like a legitimate point he's trying to make?
Yeah.
He already had all the intel he needed. That was the purpose of the Exodus raid. They mapped out our entire castle, Shane. What intel is there left for you to gather? None. Domek just wanted you out of the way.
No.
We were merciful enough to give you a chance, Shane. We could have killed you, but we still found value in your life. I think that's way more than anything Domek can say.
It really does look like his handwriting.
I have no reason to lie to you, Shane. I know what it's like to have your world torn apart. It seems like all hope is lost, doesn't it?
What should I do?
You were planning to run away, weren't you? Maybe you thought you could lose us in the crowd? It's a good idea, but there's no home left for you there.
Why did you wait until now to show me?
Because I have a favor to ask of you, Shane. And remember, I would never abandon you. I've had every opportunity to kill you.
A favor?
Sylvie takes the letter back while he watches Shane fight back tears. It was a hard thing to accept, being disowned by your family. But it was a pain that Sylvie knew all too well. He could relate. He didn't respond just yet. He watched the silent rage build up within Shane. This would be perfect, for rage was an invaluable tool on the battlefield. With a smirk, Sylvie finally broke his silence, placing a hand on Shane.
Don't worry. I'll still let you visit Domic and the rebels. It's just, I have something different in mind for you. A chance to pay him back, if you'd be so inclined.
Shane's fists tremble in anger. In this moment, he was right where Sylvie wanted him.
Yeah, I'll do it.
That's so odd. I'm confused. I thought it was his intention to get caught all along and gather intel. He does make a good point, though, about, like, they already were in the castle once. And so they would have already had, like, at least that kind of information, but I also think that... Wait. I don't know the order of events. It happened a few years ago? Did it just happen? One, that also doesn't sound like something Domic would do, but I don't know. And two, I can't remember when the raid happened. I think it was relatively recently. So, but, because, like, my idea was like, oh, well, if it happened a long time ago, then obviously things would have changed. That's why you need fresher intel. But, whatever. That seems a little odd, if you ask me. Right, either right, you say. What do you want, Bullet, Nui? Hey. What do you think of Mazeo?
It's crazy! I don't know what to think. Just when I'm comfortable, something new is thrown at us. The markets, the residential districts, and the docks.
And now this.
Valenorth is pretty much the same no matter where you are. To see things so different, that's a real shocker for me. I'm not sure what my favorite part has been so far. If I had to choose, though, I'd say the residential district. Being able to live free from the noise and free of work, that's like a dream come true. Everywhere is so noisy. I assume you get used to the noise, but it's still there. You know what I mean, right? You just learn to ignore it. I'd rather not have to do that.
I'm relating.
It'd make things way easier.
I'm relating to a lot of these characters. I'm with you. Crowds blow. Although, for some reason, I'm fine at cons. Just ignore the fact that the first time I went to a con, I ended up not going because I made myself sick. But I'm over that now. What do you think about Domic?
He's so cool! I love being around him. I want to learn to be more like him, if I'm honest. Everybody respects him and follows his directions. He's going to make a fine leader after this is over. I actually doubted the rebellion, but he convinced me. This cause is in perfect hands. We're going to do this.
Stop saying that. What are your thoughts on Pro?
I didn't trust him at first, but he's growing on me. I know he does a lot of shady things, but only out of necessity. I have no doubt in my mind that after the war is over, he'll change.
Oh, that's it. About Ulrich.
Ulrich is probably my favorite person so far. I mean, he gave me free money earlier. Free! It's all thanks to him that I got to taste a Mazayan apple.
Looks like you've got some... You've got competition from a top now, Hoodie. We got a love triangle going on. And it's Pro, Fortim, and Ulrich. Or I guess it's a square because you're also involved.
That's the one thing I was looking forward to. He's been nothing but friendly since we met him. Sure, he seems strong, but he's really gentle. Who would have thought that a guy like him has a soft
Ulrich
side?
has a great sword.
Either way,
what do you have?
Yeah, Ulrich has been great.
I will top all
He's
of them.
teaching me a lot. Maybe one day I might even learn how to use a greatsword like him.
Fortim with a greatsword. I think you're going to be handling a different greatsword.
I feel great. there's not much to say. We have everything we need in order to win. I can't wait to see our new HQ, our new home.
Alright, I guess that's it then. Other than examining things. So this is the spirit idol of Mazeo. At least that's what they thought until recently. I can see why they'd make that mistake, actually. It sure looks like a spirit idol. Well, a dying one at least. But to think, the real one is deep underground, and allegedly is massive and full of energy. It'd be the first time I saw an active spirit idol. Turns out I just go to it and I just get more power. The sun shines with intensity, illuminating the interior of the church. I can see every bit of dust lining the floor and the... I did it again! I thought that was pause. And pews. I guess they spent more time dusting underground. All this talk of dust is totally not triggering me. Alright, let's save. Rebel HQ? Yes. Oh boy. New map. Alright, let's go into the tunnels. No quarters. After we enter the door, we spend a few minutes descending into darkness. Soon after, however, we reach an area with torches lighting the way. It seems to mark the path straight forward. This must be it.
Wow, it's so dark. I can't even see where I'm going.
Just give it a few minutes. Your eyes will adjust. I remember my first time down here. I was terrified.
I don't think we have any cats with us. They're all screwed. I'm a dragon and I have dog vision. He presses his back against the wall and waits. We all do the same and can wait around until we can see.
The torches only help so much. We put a majority of them in our actual HQ. Basically, we only have them down here to...
He cuts himself off and looks further down the tunnel.
Everyone quiet. Backs against the wall. Now!
We do as instructed, and I notice an aura of fear overtake us. I stare down the tunnels, and I see a suit of armor starting to emerge. White and gold, just like my vision. It takes slow, clinky steps. I look over at Valessa and Fortem. She's fine, and he's shaking. He glances back at me, and I nod, letting him know that things will be fine. It isn't much longer until the suit of armor reaches our location. It stands between all of us and as we press ourselves against the wall. It's almost like it can't see. It has no idea that we're here. That's odd. He even turns his head to the sides, looking straight at us without reacting. After a minute or two of standing guard, it turns around and walks away. Its steps echo throughout the tunnels, loud, metallic, and hollow. Frightening. But when it's far enough away, we all sigh and stand at ease. We're safe now.
What was that?
The Triumvirate's honor guard. They're the ones that built this underground complex. We find it best not to interfere with their efforts in any way.
Why is that?
They're almost like caretakers, so we let them be. All we know for sure is that they're disobeying their masters.
What would happen if we got caught?
Really?
Also, the thought just crossed my mind. This was a Dark Pictures game that totally would have been a moment where you had to press A for the heartbeat.
Yeah, at least that's what it seems like. Rather than search for the idol, they built a utopia. I think that was the choice of the spirits inside them.
Spirits?
Yeah, so if you think that the spirits are kind of working to help you. Yeah, I'm feeling that. Trying to decide when to cut off for the night. Probably will here shortly, though. But hey, thanks for hanging out. You have a good sleep, and perhaps some good dreams of a bun. Have a good one.
Yeah. They were created by the Blade of Exodus. The spirits inside are victims of their vicious occupation.
Right. Then it's just like the seer said. Wait, victims of the occupation?
Yeah, it's sad, really. They want to live again, so they built a home.
Valessa looks sad and takes a few steps back. It doesn't take a genius to realize what she's thinking. Having been a few minutes, our vision has adjusted.
Sorry about that, everybody. Those things are brittle and weak. If we so much as bump them, they fall apart.
Wait, really?
Yeah, there's nothing inside. They're controlled purely by spiritual energy. They were strong at first, but they're weak now. It's almost like it degraded over time. Who knows, maybe we can even power them with that blade. A bit of irony, right? Use their own forces against them.
This is all so complicated.
Yeah, and I'll admit that even I don't know everything. But we won't get to that point if we don't keep moving.
He motions to the end of the tunnels.
So, shall we?
We all nod and we continue to move through the tunnels. However, Demek seems distracted. There's something on his mind. I guess even a man in his position can't have a grasp on everything. Everyone makes conversation amongst themselves as we continue. Perhaps it would be a good idea to talk with Demek a little bit more. It seems like we still have a bit of walking ahead of us after all. Oh! Alright, I think we're going to end on the Demek's heart-to-heart. Lantern. That's a lantern. There are lanterns lining the tunnels, freshly lit. It must require a lot of maintenance to keep the tunnels accessible. I'd hate to be down here when those torches die out. Sounds terrifying. Thankfully, they don't seem to be at any risk of fading away. We could stay down here for a while without any worry. However, that doesn't seem to be on any of our agendas. The way forward. I see a makeshift doorway at the end of the tunnels. That must be the entrance to the Rebel HQ, finally. It's a bit far away, but I'm glad it's actually in sight.
What's the matter? Are your legs sore?
No, not at all. I'm just running out of breath. Is it a little stuffy down here, or...?
Yeah, it is. Don't worry. You get used to it. A small price to pay for privacy, if you ask me.
I was really hoping he'd say privacy for some reason.
Right.
I don't know why. I guess just because that's just how I read it in my head. There's wooden panels on the floor, almost acting like pavement. However, it's only a bit more comfortable than the actual floor would be. It's seemingly more for aesthetic purposes than anything regarding comfort. Drops of humidity and moisture hit the wood panels, making them split. It looks like they've been here for a while, with clear signs of erosion. With what I know, I'd say these tunnels are almost 20 years old.
Hey, Valessa! Watch your step.
Huh?
There's a bit of a bump here. I almost tripped.
Don't worry. I'll be fine.
Trips. A few moments later... she trips. It was a clear sign that she disregarded his warning. He laughs and keeps walking forward, highly amused.
Let's not talk about this.
Wrecked. Right, important conversation coming up. Demek heart-to-heart 1. As we walk the tunnels, I make my way to Demek's side. I ask him what's on his mind, and the people behind us give us space. I'm thankful for their consideration, as we finally get some one-on-one time.
What's on my mind? Oh, it's nothing too major. Say, can you keep a secret?
Let's see. I kind of want to just do the positive one, and I kind of want to do the flirty one. You killed anybody, did you? He's killed a bunch of people, I think. Hey, for you, anything.
Again with the flattery. You already made a good impression, you know. If you keep doing that, I might just get the wrong idea.
He blushes and shuffles in place, embarrassed. I'm not sure why he trusted me so easily, but I'm not complaining. Sometimes it's hard for someone in a position of power to have confidence.
About that suit of armor earlier, I think I scared everybody with my caution. Between you and I, that was a bit of an exaggeration.
No.
Like I said, those things are brittle and weak. I just didn't want anybody to knock them over, you know. If we kill one of them, what happens to the spirits inside?
Hopefully it would be released, but yeah. That was a good question, actually.
I want to find a way to free those spirits trapped inside. Something tells me that killing them won't accomplish that. This is the sole reason why I tell everybody to leave them alone.
It doesn't matter if they see you, it's just a matter of don't
they're
help them.
harmless. They mind their own business. It's my belief that we should give them the same courtesy. That is, at least until we find a way to give them more freedom. Though they don't serve the Triumvirate, they're still trapped. Nobody should be forced into a position like that. They're just like us. Spirits of family and friends. Spirits of innocent occupation victims.
He lets out a loud sigh, like the ability to vent is a godsend. I can tell that this is something he's been keeping inside for a while.
Sorry for rambling on. I think I'm just trying to defend myself. Last week I accidentally bumped into one.
No.
It crumbled and fell to the ground. I felt absolutely awful. It's like I killed them. Who knows how many spirits were inside that one suit? I mean, in this war, I have to draw blood. I have to kill. But normally I reserve that punishment for our enemies. We're talking about the spirits of long-lost family here, Seer. I feel like I did something wrong. I almost feel like I'm a murderer, you know? It's odd how blurred those lines can be in war. Kill the enemy leader, you're nothing short of a hero. But kill a citizen going about their business, you're a monster. Maybe at the end of the day, that's what we are. Monsters.
You're not a monster. Dave.
I wish that's what I felt like. There's just so much pressure. I guess you know what it's like.
Yeah. We continue walking down the tunnels while he vents. I can understand where he's coming from, and I can relate. It was all about the greater good. It was all about the greater good, regardless of what we did.
Everybody expects me to lead us to victory. They call me a master strategist and shower me with praise. But at the end of the day, I'm just following in his footsteps. Salus was the master strategist, I just worked under him. They say I fill his shoes quite well, but I don't think that's true. I think they need something to believe in. They need hope.
Hey, there's the hope word.
They pushed that need for hope onto me, and I became that hope. Honestly, I think I'm more of a symbol than anything else. I'm sure you know what I mean. You're the seer. You had this role thrust upon you whether you wanted it or not. It's kind of the same for me. I'm the general. I had no say in the matter. This pressure and all those expectations, I'm afraid I might break.
Aww.
Do you have any advice?
Oh, shy. I shouldn't have saved over that. Oh well. Be honest with people. Confide in them too. Let's share our burdens together. Honestly, I like that. Just wing it. What's the worst that could happen? I think you need to grow some thicker skin. Share our burdens.
Together, like, second in command.
There you go.
I actually like the sound of that. We'd be a team. Something to think about at least, thank you. I guess there's not much more we can do, huh? Perhaps we'll have some more time to talk later on. My doors are always open to you, Seer. I promise.
He gives me a slight smile and we continue to walk. The end of the tunnels is growing ever closer. It seems like the leg of this journey was over. Okay. We're going to end on the heart-to-heart.